Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see everybody here. Is it Monday? I think it's Monday. It's Monday. We're in the middle of March. Things are wild right now. Actually, the weather's kind of up and down here. So I've had a lot of health problems over the last few days, dealing with sinuses and stuff like that. But I want to welcome everybody to the stream. We have a few things to talk about today. And I'm going to bring some guys up on the screen here in a second, but let me get through the topics. So we're going to talk about some news that the MCU Doctor Doom could possibly be an Iron Man variant, Tony Stark variant. Don't know how true that is, but we'll see. We're going to talk a little bit about Jonathan Majors. There's some news that came out about Jonathan Majors, which it's been a while since we've had that. And I want to rant a little bit about this this conspiracy against Looney Tunes and the new Looney Tunes movie, which has me angry, and David Zaslav and freaking Max removing Looney Tunes like it's garbage. Anyway, also before we get started, this mic is absolutely effed. I would say the F word, but we're still less than 10 minutes in the stream. This mic is absolutely effed, so it could go out at any moment. And if it does, I will grab one of my portable microphones to use that. But I noticed when I plugged this into my new audio mixer over here, which very happy with this audio mixer, that the audio in it was very low. And so I unplugged it, plugged it back into the computer, and it was like, oh, this device is not recognized. Oh, okay. That's not good. So there was an issue with that. I looked it up online, and I've had this mic since COVID. I got it, I think in 2020, 2021, somewhere around there. It's a great mic, sure is a great mic, but I've had it for a while. It's been dropped on the floor several times because my cats have knocked it over. So I've got to take it to Guitar Center, send it off, and have it looked at because it keeps disconnecting. In the meantime, I need another microphone. So all of your super chats, no matter which channel you're on now, all of your super chats from tonight's stream will help me grab a new mic this week. I'm looking to get one that's compatible with this audio mixer. So anything you guys donate is going to be for that reason. So it's like a fundraiser for a new microphone. I have to get one anyway, but anything to help offset the cost would be amazing. And you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Now that we got that out of the way, let's bring up some of our guests on the stream. I don't know if he's actually here or not, but we have Pagey. He said he had to take the dog out, so he might still be AFK.
Well, that's the big thing. That's the big question. We might have figured out who let the dogs out. Well, I let a dog out.
Okay. All right. Well, there we go.
I know about the plural.
Dr. Pepper sponsorship confirmed. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. We also have in the house, I'm pulling people up in order of when they popped into the green room. We have Omega Welltall is here. Unusual to have you here on a Monday night. So.
Yeah, usually I am knocked out.
Were you fired?
No, actually, no. Luckily, I'm at one of those, what do you call it? Essential personnel, whatever.
Oh, so okay, gotcha.
We're probably some of the last to get, but who knows with this guy? Jeez.
All right, well, good to have you here. We got a bunch to talk about. We got a couple trailers. We're going to look at the trailer for Freakier Friday. I was aghast at that trailer. We'll look at that as well.
I've seen it in my timeline. Never actually watched it.
Well, you'll get to see it tonight. And we have Darren in the house tonight.
Hello.
Good to see you. Yeah, we have a bunch of people in the chat. Good to see everybody. Nice chatty group tonight. Well, that's good because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. And I do want to pull up the super chat right away, contributing to the microphone fund. Cal Roswell here with the 199 super chat. How am I doing? I am actually doing really good. I got a haircut today, so my hair looks really good under this hat. Got a beard trim, had a facial. No jokes about that.
Hashtag Goon / hashtag sauce.
Did a few things. Got Domino's pizza and pasta, so I double dipped from Domino's.
Red 40 in there.
What was that?
Spaghetti, what they call it now? Canadian.
Well,
classic
no. Let me
spaghetti.
tell you quickly about the situation. So,
Celiac.
I used to love the bread bowls from Domino's. They did these bread bowls with pasta.
I
in the
remember
middle
those.
Of them,
Yeah.
And they would cover it with cheese and they would bake it, and it was really good. They got rid of the bread bowls, but you could still order pasta. So I got used to them not having bread bowls. I just dealt with it. Actually, I almost thought of ordering a pizza with nothing on it, so it's just the crust, and then dump all my pasta on top of the pizza, because then that would have been the equivalent of a bread bowl. But I never did it. But I thought I could do this, right? I don't know why they got rid of them anyway. But There's a purpose to the story. I'm getting there. So I started eating the pasta without the bread bowls, okay, which was good. They got rid of the pasta and replaced it with this weird mac and cheese thing. Ooh. But the mac and cheese is literally just their pasta with cheese on it. So it's the same thing on the menu. So they didn't change anything. It's literally just the same thing. I don't understand what's going on with Domino's. You guys used to be goated for a while, and now you're starting to fall off a little bit.
Really?
And I blame Paige for that because apparently Domino's is trash in Australia. So
no, it's the other way around. Domino's is decent. Pizza Hut is arse. That's why they had to bring out the Venom Jizz thing to bring in.
Well, customers. Pizza Hut is kind of trash here too in most places. So
we were in the 80s and 90s when Pizza Hut was the
shit
best pizza you could get.
Yeah, 100%. They did something to it. I swear there's two things that I think they fucked up, right? We're only 8 minutes. I broke my rule. There's two things that we fucked up here. Bless you, Darren. There's two things
that was someone screaming.
Pizza Hut fell off hard. Like they went over a cliff. Mm-hmm. Like, no, that's all. That's not sus. It's real. They fell off hard. The hardest, the most solid they could be, the most erect their pizza could be.
Rock hard, yeah.
They fell off.
They went over the cliff rock hard.
I'm the one who actually makes Gooner art.
All right,
look at these two.
I went too far. Okay, so they literally fell off. I used to love their pan pizza. It was the bomb, especially their personal pan pizzas. When I was in school, we'd have like pizza days where they'd bring in pizza from Pizza Hut. That was like
the Scholastic contest and all that.
Yeah. And now it's all garbage. The only good pizza they have anymore is their thin and crispy pizza, and that's because that recipe is the same, but everything else is bad. Whereas Domino's has multiple things on their menu that's actually really good. However, my favorite local pizza is Marco's Pizza. Best local pizza you can get. It's good every time. They have the best.
I don't know exactly how local they are, but it's definitely like a regional chain.
Yeah. I actually fear that they're going to blow up because once that happens, the food quality will drop down.
Like that's the way it always works. Like when Wawa when they first started coming out over here, they had those sandwiches, and now they expanded their menu. Is now the sandwiches aren't as great.
Quinlan says pizza used to be this is all true. Used to be the bomb back in the day. I remember the vouchers from the Scholastic stuff for personal pizza. I remember the people that didn't get the vouchers and they had to sit and watch you eat your pizza. That was the best. That was the best. Yeah,
because I always got them because I'm a science nerd. I always read all the science books and got those.
Papa John's has the best like breadsticks in my opinion.
Yeah, Papa John's also fell off too. Like once they got rid of John Schmatter, it's like he's right. The pizza's not as good.
Naruto coming through.
But white dude says the N word once, and now he ruins a piece of change.
Yeah, I don't really buy from Papa John's anymore. On the Invincible Season 3 DVD, there's a blooper of Mark telling Conquest, "This is for killing me off in The Walking Dead." Is that real?
He said, "I hope they do that." I hope.
I hope so. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
We were talking about The Walking Dead stuff on my show.
Right. So I noticed on Netflix now some of The Walking Dead stuff is on Netflix. Is that a new thing, or I didn't see that there before?
Like they've recently, with the last like 6 months or so, added like the newer spin-offs because they're just now kind of coming out within the last couple years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but they do that so you watch like the first season and then go to the actual stream and watch the. They do that with Yellow Jackets in Netflix. I think they might have done that in America. Yellow Jackets, they only put the first season on Netflix, so you watch the first season. You Google it. It's like, hold on, there's another season. I can't watch it. Where do I watch it? I have to subscribe to Paramount Plus.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, Dead City Season 2 is about to start, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start out. I want to do something fun in the beginning. So let's watch this Freakier Friday trailer because it looks really bad for a movie. Now, I want to point out that I believe this was supposed to be a streaming movie, and then it got changed to a release. By the way,
wasn't at the announcement, they announced it as a theater movie.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, like, when it was, like, in the talks was probably somewhere around the time not David, Bob came back, right? And he was like, switch that around. Send it back in the theaters.
Good to see you prepared, Eric.
I was checking something. Okay, so 2003. I want to check the date for Freaky Friday, the original one. Did anybody here, like, are you familiar with the original movie that came out that this is based on?
I was 1 when this came out.
I was 10. I think I saw the original in theaters. I'm pretty sure I would have.
Wow.
Wasn't it wasn't it a book and didn't the original
It's an
like,
old
the
movie.
original
movie
like
came out in the
70s?
70s. Yeah, it was in the
thought so.
70s.
Okay.
Yeah, but that one wasn't the most popular version of it is the one from 2003 with Jamie Lee Curtis and
Okay, yeah.
Lindsay Lohan. All right. We're going to watch this and I can assure you this screams like I don't think I've ever seen something that screams low budget more than this. And I mean, we just watched that Powerpuff Girls trailer. This really does scream like they had no money for this. And I'm not talking about the acting. I think the acting is very similar to the original movie. I think obviously the concept is the same, but it's like the cinematography, the lighting, the actual film itself looks really cheap. Like if this were a TV show on Disney Plus or a movie on Disney Plus, it would probably be fine. But this is coming out in theaters. I want you to remember that. Here we go. I also want to point out the concept that made Freaky Friday interesting was the age difference and the fact that it was an adult and a teenager, right? That's what made it funny. They're both adults now. So I'm not really sure how funny the situational elements of it are going to be.
I suppose it still is like say like adult woman and much older woman kind of thing.
But the experience difference is not as wide as it is from like a teenager.
It wouldn't be as wide, I guess.
Which like spoilers for the later trailer, but like it seems like that's why they added a couple of new characters in there to try and like change the status quo. But
I mean, it begs the question: why even bother to do this at all? You know what I mean? That's kind of.
I'm gonna say upfront, this felt like this feels like prime example of Disney looking at their catalogs of films and being like, which ones can we do another one of? And they're like, Jamie Lee Curtis is a big star. Give that to her.
She just won a big award. Let's bring her into another project. Yeah. We're definitely this trailer's going to disappear because that's Chapel Roll and Hot to Go.
Yeah, it is.
So that's definitely going to disappear. Which, by the way, I thought she said that she was that she wasn't going to like license out her music for like TV shows and movies or something.
I think it's different with trailers. I think with trailers, it's a different market because it's an ad. So it's like,
but it's also very different if they load a dump truck of money to your house.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe she's a fan.
Oh, just in time for the gooning session.
Lance no!
Arrives,
just come out of the drive-thru.
Well, I gotta go, guys. I'll see you later.
I'm only here for a couple of minutes. I just want to stop in and say Paige's beautiful. That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
Don't. I hear that daily, so it's nothing special. So I need. To like something
shit!
Else. Yeah.
Wow, that hurts.
Who tells you that? The person at the convenience store?
Myself in the mirror.
Oh. It's affirmations. Like you sit around and tell yourself how beautiful you are. That's actually a good thing, though. People should do that more often. You usually do it prior to what? What? Say that again?
I didn't say anything.
No, you said something.
Oh, I said let's dance.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, let's continue this journey. I also think that having multiple switches going on confuses the story a little bit.
Why do they never? Why are they not using that Chris Brown Lil Dicky song "Freaky Friday"?
Oh, because it's got a bad language in it. They wouldn't put that in the trailer.
Yeah, but not the entire song is. You can just.
They have to use a Kid Bop's version of it.
Yeah, he didn't. Chris Brown beat his wife.
That's true. Yeah. Also, Chris Brown is controversial. So that
wasn't his wife, and she started the fight.
It's about Rihanna. It was Rihanna.
This is very like Jumanji 2 that came out a couple years ago. Like switching the bodies, which I will say what I love about those movies is it lets your actors creatively expand their acting range, right? Mm-hmm. Like this is like, okay, Jamie Lee Curtis, you're playing a teenager again, or like you're playing this young girl, and then you can have this other actors play like you can have fun with that and with your actors. Will they use that to like creatively do something different? Probably not. Like I doubt it, but we'll see.
We could hope.
There's nothing in August.
Yeah, I was gonna say August is a dead month this year.
It might actually do well, because it has a low budget as well, so it could actually be a profit.
That's true. I didn't think about that. What did you say, Lance? I'm sorry.
I thought it came out in May, but so where does this fall in the lineup of Freaky Friday movies? Because you had that Disney Channel one.
Mm-hmm.
So where does this
Channel one?
Yes,
that was from
Disney
like 2008 or 2009, I think, somewhere around there.
No, that was recent.
Was it? There was another one?
Yeah.
I don't know much about that then. I have no clue. I didn't know there was like a Freaky Friday universe. Like I didn't realize that was a.
It's not. I'm just talking. I just want to know like where
they're all like reboots and stuff though. Like they're not like connected or whatever. But like Gwendolyn, that brings up a good thing. Are people that nostalgia for this movie? Like I know it has its fans and stuff, but like is it like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see the sequel for Freaky Friday?
They're just happy she's off drugs.
She's been drugs for a bit.
Lindsay Lohan, yeah.
Yeah, I remember the 70s version when I saw when I was a kid, but
Jesus,
it was. I saw it in the 90s, you asshole.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna do the.
They showed us to us again.
I thought you were gonna do the Kevin Hart made the.
Oh, hold on.
Damn.
Yeah, come on, I'm 43 years old. Damn.
I have never really vibed with the age swapping thing, like swapping with like bodies with an older person. I don't know, something about it never set right with me. Like I'm always like this is really weird.
Maybe like between kid and adult, maybe that could be interesting and funny, but like adult and older adult is just like
just in general, I don't think it's never been super funny to me.
And this movie, like, not to be the like woke guy that's like it didn't age well. The movie doesn't age incredibly well. Like it has like Jamie Lee Curtis's character like flirting with her like crush and stuff like that. And it's like you're an adult flirting with like a 16-year-old. Like there's that element.
Right, but I think they're trying to suspend that disbelief and take you back to an era when those movies did that kind of stuff. But still, that's one of the issues I've always had. Like, okay, so the issues that I have with this movie are very similar to the issues that I had with Wonder Woman 84 and the whole consent thing. Because when you're in somebody else's body, what are you responsible for? You know what I mean? Like, what are you go get a tattoo? You know what I mean? Like, what can you do if you're stuck in someone else's body? Because do you know if you're ever getting out or not? Like, it could be yours forever. You don't know that. You know?
I have a question.
No.
Eric, purely hypothetical. We all switch bodies, and you end up in me or Omega's body.
Oh, God.
What do you do?
I have no idea. Well, yours would be rough because you have a million kids. So I'd have to like make sure that I'm working 20 jobs to support all the kids, and that would be rough. If it was Omega, I'd probably end up just playing D&D or something. I don't know, like something simple because he's already got everything there at the house. So I'd just be like, okay, I guess we're playing D&D today.
So it makes me wonder, like, do you acquire their skills?
Like you mean like Barry and Oliver when they swapped bodies?
Normally they don't know, I don't think.
I was saying like Eric could make money playing drums, but he probably ruined my career.
Probably. Yeah. Well, you know what? If you switched bodies with somebody you hated, you could really mess around because you could get them canceled, like make videos and stuff like that.
With Darren in a heartbeat.
What?
Why?
I don't know.
You know what, Eric? I'm a little disappointed in your answer because when you switch bodies with me and your first answer wasn't touch yourself.
Oh my God.
That would be Paige's answer.
Yeah, that would be Paige's
probably.
answer.
I mean, you gotta be curious.
What's he got down there? Holy shit.
Always takes a turn for the worse here. All right, we have a super chat from Hunter. Oh, so I didn't make it very clear on Thursday. It is this upcoming Saturday. I'm going to schedule it tonight, actually. I might actually schedule it while we're streaming. But yeah, a lot of people were confused because I was talking about it and I didn't specify the date. It is like the last Saturday of this month, which is, not second to last Saturday. So the 22nd.
Last Saturday is next week.
Yeah. I keep forgetting this month has an extra weekend. It always throws me off when that happens.
Speaking of like balls, I don't know, like whatever Lance was bringing up before. What were your thoughts?
Wait, did Lance say anything about that?
No, that was Omega.
Are you sure? Is this a Freaky Friday thing? Are we claiming different things anyway?
Is it because we're black?
I don't know. It might be. I'm not too sure.
I'm not going there.
I'm apart, AG?
Disavow.
Oh my God.
But Omega doesn't look like the dude in the drive-thru. Lance does. That's my distinction. Goon aside or whatever it was. What was it? The last goon. The last goon.
Yeah, the last goon. That's what it was.
Bro had issues, man.
Because we didn't have glasses.
Anyway.
Can you take your glasses off, Lance? Okay.
Yeah.
Superman?
Oh no, it is.
I can't see a thing right now.
I think
Bro,
Paige is just.
Eric, take your glasses off.
You've seen me with my glasses off.
No, okay, it's the other way. Eric has these glasses that make his eyes look really small. Well, I'm the only one here not wearing glasses.
Well, that's because they're probably wearing ones that are like prescription.
Well, you're like a flip of the coin, Eric. You're like either like sometimes yours have lens, sometimes I could poke your eye out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I decided I've got a.
Why do you immediately go to violence?
I have my Lego ones, the ones you love, Paige. I can put those.
Yeah, I hate those ones. No, actually, I actually don't mind them, but you don't take the opportunity to put Lego on them.
Because that would ruin them.
They're Lego-less. They're like Lord of the Rings. Like they have no
Lego. Oh, I get what you're saying there.
Lance is laughing.
By the way,
just speaking of balls, what were your thoughts on the?
You were speaking of them, but go ahead.
Well, what were your thoughts on the autogenophilia and the incest?
Oh yeah,
what?
I know what that is. Basically, autogenophilia is basically you. Yeah, basically you.
Have you watched White Lotus?
He's talking about White Lotus.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Have you watched the latest?
Okay.
Have you watched the latest White Lotus episode, Eric?
Yes, I have, but we're not going to talk about it here because it's too controversial. YouTube will.
Okay, so I know I can see Lance is so curious right now, so I'll explain it in PG terms. Essentially, one of the characters goes to meet his old.
By the way,
friend.
Spoilers for White Lotus in the chat for anybody who hasn't seen it, because Paige.
I won't really. It's not really a spoiler scene. It doesn't really spoil anything with the plot. It's just a random scene.
But it's shocking to hear for the first time if you haven't watched the episode.
So this guy goes to see his old friend that's in Thailand, and like this guy's like used to be like a drunk and like everything like that, and he's now sober. And he asks him why he's drinking chamomile tea, and he explains that he was like now a Buddhist, and he sort of like reinvented himself, but he was like addicted to sex as well, so he'd like go and.
I thought this was like, PG. Like you're definitely not PG. At this point.
Sex. I think sex is a PG term. I won't go into more detail, but he goes and would like pick up a different Asian woman every single night and sleep with her. Blah blah blah. But then he started to fantasize about being the woman.
Right.
So he would dress up as an Asian woman and then hire dudes to have sex with him,
and then he would also have women there.
But that was the next step. So he would first be the woman, and then he would pay a woman just to watch him.
If you haven't seen the episode, Paige is giving you a very truncated version of the scene. It goes on forever.
It keeps going and going and going.
So.
It makes it better for some reason. It's just because it keeps getting weirder and weirder.
How is he being the woman though? Without
he dresses up. He dresses. Well, I mean, so he like cross dresses. Cross dresses.
Lance, I don't think we have to explain to you what that means in the terms of.
No, like, I get that, but is it just like are the dudes just like booty warriors?
No, he said he was paying guys.
Yeah, he was paying them
because they didn't want to do it, so he was paying them to come over and do this.
Sometimes multiple, he said.
I guess money motivates.
Yes, and there's a lot more in White Lotus. We're not going to spoil anything else, though. So.
Yeah, but then I found out that it's an actual condition called autogenophilia.
Yes, that is a real condition. Yes,
the description. Definition. It's defined as a male's propensity to be sexually aroused by the thought or image of himself as a female.
Yes, it's a very like different. I think it's a new thing that people are experiencing. It's like becoming more common.
Well, now it's started like this big debate whether it's transphobic or not, but I don't know. I don't think it is because he's just a cross-dresser, isn't he?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to debate the transphobia of somebody's.
Well, I don't know what's worse.
Like, I'm not going to do that.
What was worse, that or the two brothers kissing?
See, you're spoiling the episode. Like, why are you doing this?
What the fuck are you talking about, Darren? Help!
Like, we're not even reviewing the show, and you're literally just spoiling it for people in the chat. That's not cool.
I am.
If you're not watching an HBO show as it comes out, what are you doing?
You're waiting for the whole season because you don't want to pay for that trash app.
No, it's not HBO Max. Not HBO Max.
It doesn't matter. Right? Nobody watches it on regular HBO. Everybody watches it on the app. Pretty sure.
Are you sure? Wait, wasn't there? There was a Willy as well. It was a free Willy as well. The Russian.
I don't even know why we're still talking about this. It's literally not even something that we're going to talk about.
Well, no, that connects it back because there was balls as well.
I don't.
Balls.
Okay, no, you brought the balls up.
Drinking
like
tonight,
you literally brought it up. You might have to, yeah. But speaking of Warner Brothers, so here's where we're tying it in. Warner Brothers and HBO.
I just segued it perfectly. That was a
Village Roadshow, the production company behind Joker, has filed for bankruptcy following a financial dispute with Warner Brothers over The Matrix Resurrections. Let me read here. I have the tab open with the story in it, but it says, Village Roadshow Entertainment Group, the troubled indie producer and financier of the Matrix and Joker franchises, filed for Chapter 11 in Delaware on Monday, citing ongoing attribution with longtime partner Warner Brothers. The company said it slashed costs to save and also tried to sell itself as a whole last year, but uncertainty surrounding the pending arbitration, it's been going on for 3 years, made that impossible. So they were getting nothing from Warner Brothers and they had to file for bankruptcy. They were in the hole for $365 million that Warner Brothers had not paid them.
The fuck is the Warner Brothers doing?
Bleeding money. That's what they're doing.
They have so many great IPs that they're doing absolutely nothing with. Oh my god! I hope NetherRealm Studios gets from other WB. Holy crap!
I would say any type of company that's connected to Warner Brothers that isn't owned by Warner Brothers should probably leave as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense, honestly. Where's it here? Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up. Let's see. What's the name of that movie? Looney Tunes.
The Day the World Blew Up, I think.
So this is more Warner Brothers stuff, and this will lead into something else. I just want to make sure I got the news for this or whatever.
The Day the Earth Blew Up. I'm sorry.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Let's see. The Day the Earth Blew Up. That's an interesting title. So this is the movie that they ended up shopping around. And it got picked up by a very small production distributor, and I'm trying to find out what it did here because I believe it didn't do well this weekend.
It did $2 million, I think.
Yeah. Let's see. Somebody deleted the tweet that I had bookmarked. Oh, here we go. Here it goes. This is it. The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, debuts with $3.1 million at the first domestic opening weekend. The film has grossed $4 million worldwide in total so far. So, I just want to establish that this thing was not advertised because the distribution company doesn't have a lot of money. I think they actually they've only had one other movie that slightly did well, I believe. Let me see what the name of the company is. It's like some weird name. What was it called here? It was Ketchup Entertainment is the name of the company.
Like ketchup, like the sauce.
Yeah. Now the only things they've taken part in that have been any good, I don't even think it's good, that people know probably is Hellboy the Crooked Man.
Isn't that us? Isn't that the one that only just
I heard people liked it, like the people that went and saw it said that they liked it, but I don't think it performed well at the box office. I'm looking back through everything they've done. Let's see. We'll look at this. We'll look at their track record here. So the Dragon Pearl, Lost Christmas, Picture Day, A Whole Lot of Soul, The Frozen, Kill Me Now, Mafia, Linsanity. Don't know what that is.
That's Jeremy Lin.
See, Big Sur, Vehicle 19, Arouse, Savannah, Harlock Space Pirate, which I guess is supposed to be a take on the anime.
Yeah.
The Love
Punch,
Punch,
pretty decent.
The Starving Games.
Anime, but okay.
Wolves, Big Game, Debug, Super Fast, which is
so it's a parody movie.
Yeah, it's like parody movies. Hypnotic, Ferrari, which is a parody as well, it looks like.
No, that's a real movie that's just not very good, I think.
Yeah. So this was their this was one of their, I guess, bigger things they could get their hands on. But there was no advertising for it.
I don't think was not the money for it, unfortunately.
This is the first I've heard of it.
Oh, really? Wow! Like this
it wasn't advertised for real though. Seriously.
I think this was one of my most anticipated of the year, mainly because it was the first, the first 2D animated movie in cinemas for a long time. Mm-hmm. Also, the first theatrical animated Looney Tunes movie ever. There's never been one of these before this. And I've been telling people all year, those people that are begging for more 2D animated movies, go watch this movie. This is your way to get more. And I know it's not their fault because they didn't market it, but it's so silly to me that Warner Brothers wouldn't want this. This is your mascot, right? This is your SpongeBob. This is your Mickey Mouse. This should be some of the biggest stuff that you're focusing on. And then you treat Coyote versus Acne the way you did. You treat this. I don't think we're ever getting a Looney Tunes movie ever again. I really don't. I think this was like kind of like the last chance at least as long as David is in charge.
Look at this.
Brothers.
There is a legitimate question to ask though with the Looney Tunes brand, because if we go back to Space Jam 2, the villains in that movie are called the Goon Squad. Do you think that it had
Goon in a completely different way?
Well, sometimes things out of context, you got to watch the context. So I'm just. Do you think that's had a detrimental effect? Because
I don't think anybody remembers that. To be honest, I don't even think anybody's even thought about it other than you. I think you're the only person.
Here's the thing, Casey.
Well, Lance says he can't too.
They're also the villain in the first Space Jam, so I guess you're a fake fan in terms of Looney Tunes.
I gotta hop out, but Eric, I have really good news, Eric.
Yeah.
Remember how I've been waiting for the monetization stuff?
Did it come back in?
I'm at 2,933 and I only need to hit 3,000. I've been putting in the work.
2,009. How much again?
I'm at 2,933 and I only need to hit 3,000.
So viewers, you have an option here in front of you. Let me present this option for you. If you are not a subscriber of Geek Drums, you can head over and subscribe, because that will help him get to monetization again.
Or as fast as you can.
Or you can. Well, can't you just do the thing? Didn't ThreadUp just buy subs? Why don't you just do that?
I don't want to do. I don't want to buy subs.
Wait, is that confirmed? I thought he said they were organic subs though. Is that true?
They were, but you still got to pay.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Well, look, paying for something digital.
But that wasn't. That's a third option. You skipped over my second option. My second option is if you want Lance to work twice as hard and you are subscribed, you can go over and just unsubscribe to his channel, and then wait till he does something you like, and then you can resubscribe again.
We also forgot another option within that option: leave hate comments.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Wow.
That will help.
Yeah, it will 100%. It was engagement, right?
Yeah, I do have I have like 2 uploads for tomorrow along with the podcast. So I've been working.
I mean, he's been putting in the work, so I think you deserve to have.
I've been working.
So if you're not subbed to Lance's channel, go over and do that. He does a stream every Tuesday, Party Nation, where he has a bunch of people get on and they talk over each other. So that's a lot of fun. So
it's very fun.
At the very least, leave a thumbs down.
Oh, wow.
But we've been having really deep and engaging conversation, and I pulled a bin this week.
A muscle? You pulled a muscle?
No, I pulled a bin. I posted clickbait.
Oh shit! Not the clickbait.
I felt good about it. I got people thinking that Black Lightning is confirmed for the DCU.
Wait. Paige says I need to share the screen. I don't know what this is.
Lance, you're not helping people to go over to your channel. You're just.
I think this is supposed to be for Lance. Maybe
it doesn't look like me at all. It looks more like Karen.
I think. Oh wow! I think Paige needs to put glasses on it when he shares it again, like some glasses, just like Lance's.
He just has to take his glasses off.
No. All right. Anyway, thanks for stopping in, Lance. Go subscribe to his channel. See you later.
See ya, buddy.
Bye. See you tomorrow, Darren.
I'll be there.
Okay.
I might see you tomorrow.
All right.
C3Dub confirms it is organic. That's what I said. I thought it was organic subscribers. That's what I thought it was, but not sure. Oh, I did see a comment here earlier that I wanted to pull this up before we talk about this. Where's it at? I completely forgot. Damn it! I should have started. Where's it at?
HOTTOGO.
I've only heard people sing that song, not the actual song.
Well, you just heard it in the Freaky Friday trailer, so. Wait, hold on. It disappeared. The comment disappeared, or at least I don't see it now. Somebody was saying that one of my ads, I think it was RL Morales, said that one of the ads that they saw before the video started or for the stream started was about some sort of, was it like shaving something? I don't know. It was something weird, but they said that it was talking about sucking. I was like, what? What are we talking about here?
Is that song about sex or some junk?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, there's one I think I like R-rated ads creeping into YouTube.
Okay, so yes, there are some really. If you go to the Reddit for YouTube where they post like the ads that they're getting, there's a lot of inappropriate ads that squeeze through on YouTube. Like there's a lot of them, mostly for video games. Cody here with the $5 super chat says, "Am I crazy for thinking that kids today aren't interested in Looney Tunes?" What do you think, Darren?
Yeah, they're not, because they haven't given them a reason to care, right? Like there hasn't been a a legitimately big show or movie to come out in the last 10 years outside of Space Jam 2, which is a legacy sequel. That's a sequel to an already established Looney Tunes movie. Like make a animated feature length movie, put it like this, right? Like actually this was the perfect opportunity to rebrand Looney Tunes. Be like, okay, it's very cheap. It's very basic. Kids can hop on it for the first time. And this is another thing I wanted to mention. This is a $15 million movie.
Yeah.
Cheap. You could just spend a couple million marketing the movie and you have a hit, right? Because I think if you market it properly, it could do very well right now. And it's not, because people don't know it exists. Yeah.
Well, and I don't think they care because they sold it off. So they're like, we don't care. We're not going to spend any money on this. So
yeah,
crazy. We had another super chat here from Staggervore. A $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Staggervore. Remember all the people back in 2022 saying that Zaslav would turn the studio around and make IPs better? What do they have to say now? I mean, we said it. I know for sure I said it. I don't know if everybody on the panel agreed with me, but I knew from the beginning, based on the way he was running the company, that this was ultimately what was going to happen. That he was going to start selling off projects. He was going to start dumping IP. This was very obvious. David Zaslav is a business person. Like, that's just it. Like, he doesn't, that whole spiel about we care about fandoms, we care about loyal viewers and customers and stuff. It was all bullshit. None of that even matters because he doesn't care. CEOs know that they hop, skip, jump to the next thing as soon as they can. So once he gets done, if there's a quarter that comes out where they've turned over X amount of dollars, he can use that to jump to the next thing or, accumulate the next thing. That's what he wants to do.
Yeah, he's going to parachute and then just jump off to the next company to crash. Kind of like what they're doing to the country. No, I'm not getting there.
Paigey loves that. Somebody asked me if I was going to do a Paigey accent. I don't think I can do an Australian accent. I don't think I can. I've tried it before and it never sounds good. It always sounds bad. I mean,
I can somewhat do a Kiwi accent, but I'm not drunk enough.
So you could do a Tasmanian accent, right? Like from Tasmania.
Yeah, but that's just like disgruntled growls or something.
Paigey would be like, "Oh, crikey, mate. I just gooned a strip on the Barbie. That's not a knife. I hunt crocodiles, mate." That's Paigey.
I'm not even Australian. I cringe.
Yeah, that wasn't very good, DJ Erickson.
I think that was a 10 out of 10. I think that was perfect, actually. Okay, so to finish up the Looney Tunes thing, it looks like the classic Looney Tunes. I want to reiterate the community note here does make this important distinction, but it's like the look, try to mimic Steve Irwin. Never mind that.
Oh, never mind it.
The classic Looney Tunes, like the OG ones, have been removed. The newer ones are still there, but all of the old stuff is gone.
This is your history, man. Like this is like if Disney said no more Snow White on Disney Plus. You'd be like,
yeah, all their movies past 1970 gone.
Like this is your foundation. This is your mascot, and it just shows you don't care about the brand that you are creating.
If it's not making money, they don't. It's CEOs nowadays. I don't know what the hell they're teaching people in business schools nowadays, but it's all about just short-term gains now. They don't care about making legacy. They don't care about sustaining. They don't care about. I
think Looney Tunes is the perfect IP to modernize. It is the perfect one because these characters exist out of time. Like you can literally do anything you want with them. You could bring back a Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner cartoon and make it modern, and it works because these are characters that aren't actual people. They're cartoons.
Yeah, they don't care.
That's the joke of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like it's been around for ages.
Yeah, like they don't care about like their whatever product or thing that they have holding values. Like how much money can we make off of it right now? Oh, it failed. Okay, yeah, whatever. I'll just take my golden parachute and go to the next company. You see that in the gaming industry all the time.
I feel like that's the worst part. Where like if they put these movies out and they failed, and then they're like, we're not doing more, I could be like, you know what? Fair enough. I get that. Whatever. You didn't give these movies a chance. Like this is an animated movie with a small budget. They could have made a profit. Coyote versus Acne. You had John Cena attached to it, a big name actor
who could have gone out and promoted it on the red carpet or on press tours or whatever you wanted to do. And
I mean, again, look at Cena now. He's kind of blown up for the wrong reasons, but still, he's blowing up.
I don't think y'all really want Earth 2 Eric back. I feel like that's just people talking shit at this point.
They're back in the bathroom.
I think one of the things that would be interesting is that if they try, I guess that was going to be the case with Coyote versus Acme, but then again, that was more like focused in on specific characters.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like they clearly tried to revitalize it with that Looney Tunes back in action movie back in the day. And I think that like sort of half worked, but the movie didn't really perform overly well. Like it didn't perform ridiculously well, but like maybe they should try. I think that's the best way. But also the thing they struggle with now is with kids entertainment, because back when Looney Tunes came out,
right?
I mean, that was like a 4-year-old would watch it, but also a 10-year-old would watch it. But now, like, it's like what fucking Coco Melon that like is like a 4-year-old's watching. And like the only show which I think goes from like a really young age of like 3 to 4 up to like someone that's maybe like 10, 11, 12 is Bluey.
Yeah.
I think that might be the only show. So maybe like Looney Tunes has to try and dabble into that market, but make it different. But also like, I don't know, like remember they had like Looney Tunes also had all these like, what are they, melodic memories or whatever the thing was called?
Buried Melodies.
That's it. It's like, I love to sing it. That one, like, I don't know, do you try that? I don't know, like it's a hard thing to like overly modernize, because the whole point of it is that it's a legacy thing for the studio.
Right.
So you can't modernize it too much. You got to make it, drift into that. But then again, Disney does fuck all with Mickey. When was the last Mickey thing?
Yeah, and that was a conscious thing of like they didn't want to damage the brand, so they wanted to keep it in their little circle. Although there was a new story about that this week. I bet Eric already has in his whatever. But no, I mean I think the best to do it was the Looney Tunes show that came out in like 2013. They made the Looney Tunes like a sitcom on like Cartoon Network, where they had normal jobs and lives, and I think they yes, it was on Cartoon Network, but I think they marketed more to the adult audience, which might actually be the best course of action going forward. Not that I want like rated R Bugs Bunny, that would suck.
I think PG-13 would be a good one. Like you'd make it for like teens and up,
Because like Looney Tunes always had kind of like a like more of a harsher comedy. Like it's about characters hitting each other.
Kids cartoons in this era used to be wild, like Tom and Jerry and stuff like that. It
was
wild.
But that's the thing. That's why Looney Tunes stood out from the Disney stuff, because it appealed to like more like a 9-year-old would enjoy it more than a 6-year-old. So like it had more of a comedy feel to it, and that's why it stood out compared to what Disney was doing at the time.
All right, hold on here. I want to get this ready. All right, we do have a super chat here about this, and then we're going to move on to the next topic. Staggervore here with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Staggervore, contributing to my new mic. Bugs Bunny is the face of Warner Brothers, like how Mickey Mouse is the face of Disney. Yeah.
Well, when you enter it, like if you go to Warner Brothers, there's like a bronze statue of Bugs Bunny, like when you walk into the tour area thing.
I've also noticed on Max on the app, when I logged in, they've removed like 90% of your icons for like your profile. Like they used to give you like all the Looney Tunes characters, all of the DC characters, all these options, but they just removed them down to like a few of each category now. You can't even, and these are just your icons for you to log into the app. Like it just.
Did you see the post about why they took it off, Max, Eric? Did you see that part of it?
No.
Okay, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's like official, but like they were saying, and I'll try and find it here, but like they were saying it was because they're trying to get away from marketing to kids. They said the marketing to kids isn't working for them anymore. Right. They're trying to market to the adult audience, which is why they took Sesame Street off as well.
But they're just icons for your profile. I don't understand why that. Like one's forcing an adult to. Oh, you mean Looney Tunes?
I mean, like
okay, gotcha,
just leaving Max and Sesame
So
Street.
why don't they make a separate app for children's content then? Or put it on YouTube. Like put it here on YouTube on a YouTube channel from Warner Brothers with all of this library for free. If it's not making you any money, just put ads on it on YouTube and make it free for everybody.
I just don't see why that would affect the brand, to be honest. Like, I feel like you can have... I think it only helps the brand. Like, if I saw a streaming service and I had kids that only had, like, adult, like, R-rated kind of content, I'd be like, I'm not getting this. But
you know what this tells me? Is that Disney knows what they're doing and Warner Brothers doesn't, because they're able to balance children and adult content on the same app, and it doesn't seem to be a problem for them. They're actually profitable, which is weird because they don't have a large library of stuff. But they've managed to make that market work, and Warner Brothers hasn't. It's almost like Warner Brothers has been getting rid of their cartoons for a long time now, prior to telling us this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wait, there's one more thing I want to send you. It's not what I was looking for, but I think this is a pretty interesting thing as well. I'm sending it to you in the private chat on here.
Yeah, 3 Dubs, I know why they won't. It's too smart for David Zaslav to think of it. RL Morales here says that not marketing to kids is a big statement on the economy. I guess people don't have the disposable income to blow on toys. I think that's, and you said a good point about Disney. I don't think it's that. I think that Disney has embraced their children's entertainment and Warner Brothers has not. I think that's the problem. Let me see what you sent over here. Let's see. Toon Hive. By the way, Toon Hive is a really good outlet on Twitter for keeping up with these stories and stuff. They do a really good job. What were you gonna say? It's
about Hive.
Oh,
Goon Hive.
Oh, got it. All right.
Eric, wake up! God, you're not locked in today.
Just got an email from folks at Catch Up, our distributor. The film will continue to play in theaters this coming weekend. Word of mouth and hype works. So this week, make sure to get to the nearest theater, buy a ticket, and support it. Oh. Look, they've already made. So it's got. I think the post said it did $4 million or whatever. It's a $15 million film with almost no advertising. So if this movie makes $25 million, it's a profit for them, and that might incentivize them to invest in more content like this. Not Warner Brothers, but the Catch Up whatever films.
They gotta make profit fast though, right? Because we got Minecraft in coming weeks. We have Snow White later this week.
By the way, Mickey 17 going to streaming almost immediately after coming out in theaters.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, holy shit. What the fuck?
Yep.
Did you see that, Paigey, about Mickey 17?
I felt the aura from it.
Crazy.
I can go on the same rant of like everyone's like make the original movies, and it's like they do.
I'm so tired of hearing that argument.
I'm so pissed. Yeah,
like you don't want to support franchise stuff. You say you want original stuff. They make original stuff. You don't support that. So there's something else happening that people are not talking about, and that is probably financial, because everybody keeps ignoring the fact that it's really expensive to go to theaters right now for a lot of people, and it's just affecting these movies. And we have to adjust for that until something changes. It's just the reality of it. I think there are some movies that are inevitably going to make a lot of money. Mickey 17 was not one of them, but it's doing so poorly that they're just going to push it out on streaming and charge people $25 to watch it at home.
Yeah. And marketing is another thing. There wasn't much marketing for Mickey 17.
But Serenity, there's no success for original IPs right now. There's none. Name the last original IP that did extremely well at the box office. Original. Something brand new.
So not based off real life, yeah.
The only one that I think kind of works here, and it's still technically based on the book, is The Wild Robot. I think that's the only one you can kind of do.
So you mean to tell me over like 3-4 years now, they've not managed to release one original movie? No studio, no company has not released one original movie. The Substance is probably a good example.
Did that do well?
I don't know if it did well, but it was well received. I don't know about financially. I've never looked that up, but it was well received. Honora did not do well financially.
No.
That movie underperformed.
Most Oscar movies.
No, Honora did well for its budget, but it's the lowest grossing best picture.
It still didn't do that well.
70.
Did you look at the numbers? It didn't do that well. It did okay.
No, I mean, for its budget, it did very well, but for a best picture winner, it didn't do very well.
For everything behind that movie, even after it won, it still has not increased its sales.
But it's also about a fucking stripper, and you see that man boobs like the entire movie.
But again, my point about this is we're talking about massive success. We're talking about movies that go on to counter some of the bigger films.
No.
Honora is not an example of that.
No.
Wicked is literally based off one of the most well-known pieces of fiction in the
So
world.
what I'm talking about is like when you have a movie come out that challenges some of the larger films in cinema, like something like Everything Everywhere All at Once, right? That's a movie where I think that actually had the ability to do those kinds of numbers. Something along those lines. There's not many of them.
Sort
of Oppenheimer, but that's kind of based on like a hit, like a historical.
I was gonna say Oppenheimer, but I was like,
technically
it's based off a book.
And I think it's also a little. This is not about you, Serenity, but there's this thing where people are shitting on stuff without even seeing it. Like they're like, "Oh, this is going to be garbage. I'm not going to see it," and then they don't support it, and then it ends up being really fucking good when it comes out on streaming, and people are like, "Why didn't I go see this in theaters?" Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I've said this many times, and I think it's a good example of like how this works. It's like going to a store and like wanting a candy bar. Are you going to get that Kit Kat or whatever the like candy you've been getting for 20 years, or are you getting something new you've never had before? You're getting that candy bar.
Are you getting the goon syrup, like whatever that candy bar is?
Like, no, you're not gonna get that one. A Twix,
why
you're not getting
a Kit Kat and syrup of the goon variety.
It's just that's what it is. Let's move on. Cody here with a $5 super chat. Have you noticed Disney is the only one that went back to the traditional window? Yes, and it seems to be doing pretty well for them.
Elemental did fantastic, but it sucked opening weekend.
Captain America Brave New World it's not doing crazy, but they say it's going to end its run with about 410 to 430 million, which is right in that sweet spot of break even, and then it's going to go to streaming and probably make another 50 to 100 million at streaming. So
I'm having everyone tell me Snow is going to flop, it's not going to do very well.
We're going to talk about that too. I've got that as a little tab over
I'll
here.
say my thoughts then.
I'm going to talk about that. Yeah, we might talk about it here in a second. Say Dino Dragon, get some sleep. Good to see you. Oh, look. Goon syrup. That's the new candy. Lord. Goon syrup. Yeah.
Patent Pagey.
Somebody says, I'm not disagreeing with you, Eric, that original films aren't getting major financial. I'm saying they aren't getting little sickness for the quality of the old content. The content. I think there's a lot of really good original IPs out there. People just are not giving them an opportunity. I'm going to stand by that. That's just my opinion on it. I think I've seen a lot of movies that come out at home where the reviews of it are like, oh, this is shit, this is awful. And then it comes out at home and people are like, wait, no, this is actually really good.
I think it's an issue that's been the case for a while now. It's going to keep being an issue because with TV and stuff, it's just like if it's $25 to go to the movies just by yourself or something like that, let alone if you got a kid or your partner or a kid and a partner or whatever it is, it just stacks up. And when you think about it, like when did Netflix release their shows? And like a Thursday or a Friday or whatever it is, and then you got Sunday HBO.
By the way, has anybody watched Electric State yet on Netflix?
No, I bet it's ass.
I'm not putting myself through that.
Okay, I don't have it as one of our little tabs here, but I just want to briefly discuss that because somebody wants me to watch this State Farm trailer. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, the Batman trailer or whatever. I haven't seen it. Somebody sent it to me and they're like, you should watch this, so we're going to watch that in a second. But I want to talk briefly about just that movie and the Russo brothers in general. So Electric State supposedly is better than what people are saying, but it's still not great, is what I've heard. Tonight we decided to watch a movie and it was a toss up between that and this movie called The Parenting, which I don't know if you guys saw the preview or not for that.
Is it the HBO Max one?
It is. It's fucking hilarious. It is so good. It's got several different actors you'd recognize in it. But yeah, it's amazing. It's a great fucking movie. It's so good. It's so campy.
What's her name? Parker Posey. From
yes, she's one of the main characters. Yeah, no, it's great. It's a great movie. Definitely check it out. If you are someone that subscribes to Max, to HBO, it's worth the time. It's an hour and a half. It's not a big investment. It's a very like 80s horror type film.
Focusing on Darren trying to get this book into the.
Sorry.
Wait, what was it called again?
The Parenting. It's an 80s horror comedy. So that's what it is. But it was a toss up between that and Electric State, right? So we're sitting here and we're like, which one do we want to watch? Keep in mind, Electric State was a $320-some million movie, right? The Parenting's like a $10 million movie. And we're like, which one do we want to watch? This is why money doesn't matter, guys. This is why I always talk about, like, ultimately when you're a viewer, you don't care about that. So we didn't watch the $320 million movie. So we're going to watch something a little bit less, expensive because it looks to be more fun. And we had a great time watching it. And I don't regret it at all. But this is the big issue is like when you have an opportunity to watch something that you're not paying a ticket for, you can be a bit more choosy and decide which way you're going to go because you're not going to movie theaters. You know what I mean?
I find myself doing that too. Like someone I like being at home. Like, I don't like going out most times. So, look, I found myself being like, do I want to go watch Mickey 17? Or do I want to stay home and watch, like, an episode of a show I'm watching? Like, that's, I feel like that's a big global, like, especially since COVID.
Right.
There's a lot less people being like, I'm going to go out and have an evening, and I'm going to stay home because I just worked an 8-hour shift. I'm not going out again.
So this is kind of what I want to talk about, you guys. So the Russo brothers are trying to normalize AI in movies. So this is, I want to be very clear here that I don't support generative AI. I never have, I never will. I will never, ever watch a movie that is made solely with AI. It's just not something I'm going to do. I don't mind supplemental AI, like things that you would see on TikTok and stuff like that, used to filter videos and stuff. I don't care about that stuff. But anytime you're replacing somebody that's either an actor or an artist or something like that could be doing a job, I will never ever support that. But the Russo brothers seem to be very, at least one of them, I don't know which one it is, but they seem to be very
the gay one.
Was it
the gay one from Endgame?
What are you talking about?
Remember he was like, remember they made a big thing about
no, it's a
sure.
joke. Yeah, okay, whatever.
They made a big thing. Oh, the first gay character in the MCU, and he's like,
yes, it's the Russo
director of the movie.
Oh god.
So the thing is that you can't say stuff like this and then be in charge of the Avengers movies. I'm sorry, you can't. This is a bad look for them, and I know they're not going to walk it back because what'll probably happen is they'll just never say it again. They'll just never talk about it again because Disney will probably be like, you can't say that, you can't do that, or whatever. But it's really sad to me. Anybody who works in art should never be talking about replacing art with AI. You just shouldn't. It's the dumbest thing. It's so dumb. We can't get rid of it. I'm not saying wipe it out because I think that's an unrealistic expectation. But I think saying that AI can replace something that people are doing creatively, could they do it? Yes. Should they do it? No. That's the problem.
I hate being this guy because I feel like I've become like the enemy of some friends, but like I kind of think you do have to do a full pushback on it because it's becoming, like they just said, it's being normalized. Like I'll go on TikTok and I'll see people being like praising it and being like, oh my gosh, I need to see this with AI, like do this and this and this.
Don't get on Facebook. It's all you see on Facebook Reels is AI stuff. That's it.
It's like there is a real life like propaganda happening as we speak. All these movies about robots for like the last like all these like robot themed movies that are like robots are our friends and stuff.
The Horizon Zero Dawn game contemplating replacing a voice actor with AI when the fucking lesson of that game is that robots are taking over and destroying the world.
Yeah.
That's the lesson of the game.
Phantasy Star 2 in 1989 has a AI that could take control of the entire 3-planet system and it ruins it.
Yeah.
89 this game came out.
Lisa Frankenstein is peak. I don't care what anybody says. I love that movie.
That was a good movie. I can't believe
it's fantastic. What are you talking about?
And it bombed at the box office.
It did?
It was really good. So if The Parenting went to theaters, how well do you think it would do? I don't think it would do very well because it's a low budget movie that nobody knows about and nobody's able to pay for the advertising for that stuff. It's one of those things where I would love to say it's going to do well because it is a good movie, but that's not enough anymore.
You know who wrote Lisa Frankenstein?
Wasn't it Robin Williams' daughter?
No, she directed it, but the woman who wrote it was the woman that was behind the Powerpuff CW show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was like the showrunner.
All right, so I haven't seen this yet. Has everybody else seen this? Am I the only one that hasn't seen this?
I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't sat down and watched the whole thing.
Why does it look like the Joker's mid-gritty?
He is.
Because he is. It's hardcore gritty. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I want to preface this by saying I've only seen like photos of this, but people are saying that this is what they want from the DCU. So keep that in mind as we're watching this trailer. This is what people say they want from the DCU. So let's see what it is that this State Farm commercial is.
I should say by a look placement, not necessarily on like a tone and
style. I've heard the Joker and the Batman in this are really good. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, like really focusing on like the like looks of the characters.
The person playing Batman in this is like a stunt person for another person for like another superhero franchise. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, let's see. Let's watch it.
Yo, the Joker.
Is that Kai Sennett? Oh my god.
As havoc continues across Gotham City, it seems our only hope is Batman.
Batman?
Now, Close enough. Bateman. Gotta tell you, the suit really bunches up in the old Batcave, if you know what I mean.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting Bateman when you need the protection of Batman.
Easy, Batemobile, not too fast, baby. Riddle me this. What is dusk? You don't have to answer in the form of a question. What is dusk?
I like the Riddler's look.
Like that.
Yeah, it looks good.
Do something, Bateman. Yeah, okay. Stop. Whoa, cat lady. Time out. Wow.
Nice fanny bag.
Thank you. Rude. What is love? All right. What isn't love? You know, just toss him.
Not all protection is the same.
Any last word?
Oh, wow.
Just one. It's a long one. Dermatologist.
That's why you need the real deal.
Look out! That's Batman! Oh. Go home, Bateman.
Oh, the suit looks good.
That's hurtful.
Citizens need help as vandalism spikes.
Never play with poison ivy.
Poison ivy.
Someone's a flirt. Bateman, please. Yeah, this is feeling much more Batman to me. Are you serious, bro?
When it comes to protection,
the Batmobile looks cool
settle for
too.
Bateman when there's Batman, so don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm.
Wow.
Don't touch that. Well, now I want to touch it more. Oh boy, party clown. Listen, if we're gonna be roomies, no juggling, no magic, no balloon animals. I don't want any weird clown stuff, okay?
Whoever's doing the next Batman movie,
fire
them, get this guy.
Yep.
Whoever
what the
this,
actual fuck, bro?
Whoever directed this, get him to do the next Batman movie. This is amazing.
This is the most accurate Gotham City has ever.
Oh my god!
It has a good bit of camp and a good bit of gritty realness to it. It's that perfect. Get this guy, whoever directed this, him. Get them or her. Who cares? I don't care.
What the fuck? So apparently this is the actor here who played the Joker. Hold on, I gotta show this.
They're the same thing. They're the same thing.
I see it.
I see no difference.
Like, what?
If I saw that man out in public, I'd probably be scared.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
Here's a little behind the scenes video. Hold on, let me share this over here.
Yeah, that looks so cool.
There's no audio
Looks
for this.
Firestarter. Well, it's Firecracker from The Boys.
I mean, look, the suits aren't exactly like movie quality suits, but I see what they're doing with it. I see the
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, this is almost CW quality costumes in a State Farm commercial.
Yeah. This is like they had a CW budget of sorts, but for 2 minutes of screen time, right? Like people argue about why do they look so bad? They have all this money. Yeah, but that's the amount of money for the entire season. They were able to dedicate 2 minutes to make
so this Joker
like
is the perfect mix of classic Joker and Heath Ledger Joker.
Yeah,
it's like a combination of the two things. It has the dirtiness of the Heath Ledger vibe with the hair and the really kind of crusty makeup, but then his smile. I have to reiterate, this is the dude.
Yeah.
I do understand it's hard to keep this up for a 2-hour movie, right?
Right.
But I think if you can keep this level of love, because this is a commercial that feels like it's made with love. It feels like people who watch Batman, the animated series and stuff like that.
Or the 60s Batman.
Yeah, take that love and be okay, here are actors that can do it for 10 years. Here are costume people that can make it look like from the comics and stuff like that. Again, this is the tone I've been dreaming of for Batman for really my whole life. I feel like the movies have never really captured it of
I was fucking blown away. Whoever directed that ad needs to be James Gunn, call them immediately and make this movie happen, because we know for a fact that shit is just kind of sitting around for Batman in the DCU. Apparently there was a rumor, and I reiterate, this is a rumor, that Matt Reeves is not happy with how long it's taking for the movie to get off the ground, considering he's the one that's holding it up. But apparently there's some issue with that. It's crazy. Lone Wolf says, $2 super chat. I'm with Bobo. Imagine this. Right, exactly. If you were to take these concepts and give them that movie budget, it would work.
Yeah.
Minus Jason Bateman. But
yeah.
Oh yeah. Jenkins. I mean,
the tone a little bit. Yeah, like obviously, like.
Yeah. No, I'm totally down with that. Yeah, I mean, this is great. Well, I think, this actor in particular has been in other stuff. I know that I've seen him in other things. I don't know what it is, but who is it actually? Let me see. Where's the name of it?
I should also just say, I think this is also great marketing, right?
Josh
like
Hart.
this is this like stuff like this helps the representation of the DC, just like DC as a brand more than the movies have in a long time, you know. So
my only complaint about this is though. I mean, I think it looks cool, and like I wouldn't hire the same actors. You'd hire like
of course,
people that probably bring in people to watch.
That looks so good though. This scene right here looks so fucking good to me.
Yeah, I mean, you go off the aesthetic and everything and the overall.
Right.
But you know what? I saw people say like it looks like it's ripped from the animated series. I think they're clearly inspired by the Arkham games with the design.
Sure.
Like Two-Face
I would say
looks
the
exactly
Arkham
like
game, 100%.
Two-Face looks exactly like the Arkham games. You know what my big thing about this is? It's just all fucking Batman again. Like, imagine if we've seen this stuff before. Like, imagine if they actually include like some of the other stuff. But I guess they have to go with characters that are familiar. Like,
but you know what, Paige? Following that path, they could do this with all the DC stuff. Like, they could literally just make all the DC stuff sort of this comic booky, and I think everybody would be happy with it. To be quite honest.
Yeah. Well, like I know you're dying.
Well, not the Snyder shells, but everybody else.
Like not everybody, but yeah.
Darth Bunyan says Bateman or I'm out. Goonman,
Bateman as Batmite.
Oh, that might be funny, actually. Yeah, that would be pretty good. So, all right, we have a couple more super chats here from Silhouette Animator with $2. Much better than Batman OnStar ads from the 90s. I never saw those. Wait, hold on, let me see if I can find those. Batman
I don't remember those. I mean, I know they had them, but I just don't remember them.
Our friend Jordan works at State Farm, and he got to see this early before it came out to everybody else.
Oh, here it goes. I found a video with like a compilation of it. So let me see this. So you got to see it before it came out public? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like a whole week, I think.
All right, so here's these OnStar ads. I've never seen these, so let's just take a look.
I don't know what this is.
It's Batman OnStar commercial compilation from 2000, I guess.
That's so good.
OnStar's like if your car breaks down or whatever, you can call them company. All right.
Are they still around?
Good evening, Batman.
Alfred. Yeah.
I've stepped up safety in the Batmobile, sir.
Really?
Should a villain steal it, someone will track it. If your airbag goes off, an advice.
So wait, this is the Tim Burton era, but that's
it's just the Tim Burton Batman.
No, but that's not the Batman from. I don't know who this is.
I've stepped up safety in the Batmobile,
It's
sir.
the outfit, right?
Yeah, so yes,
from the movie?
No, it is the outfit, but I don't know who this actor is though.
No,
like
Alfred. That's like
Alfred. Alfred is right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should a villain steal it, someone will track it. If your airbag goes off, an advisor will assist you. If you're stranded, satellites will help locate you.
And where have you put all these things?
Just press the OnStar button, sir.
Well done, Alfred.
My pleasure, sir.
That's good.
OnStar, how can I help you, Batman?
Yeah, this isn't bad. It's just basic.
Well,
It's
no,
good,
but
it's good.
I also say this was a weird era in technology where everything was big buttons. Like, I don't know if you remember that, but everything was like these big, obnoxious buttons on everything. So it wasn't like touchscreen where they can just change the way the screen looks. Like, you had this in your car, it was there always. You had a big blue OnStar button installed on your dash. Because there was no such thing as like making it so you can take it out. Everything was just always locked in, not geeked out, I guess. Look up Batman OnStar Joker and that chat. Is there a Joker one here? Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Oh wait, there it is right there. Okay, here we go. Let's just watch this a little bit here.
Send the police report to me.
I'll contact you right away.
Oh my God.
That's just Jay Leno.
Never.
Is there a better look at it, or is that the only one?
I will say, like, I know we're all kind of like Jokered out and Batmaned out, but like, I do crave a Joker like this. That is like like a fun Joker that is like very silly and very poppy. I feel like we haven't got that since like Jack Nicholson, and I guess Gotham kind of. But
so
like,
what you said just resonated with me because I don't think I'm necessarily tired of Batman. I'm tired of the Batman stuff we're getting.
Sure.
Yeah.
I want the Batman, the DCU Batman, to be something that we've not had either in a very long time or something we've not had ever. I want it to feel like that. And that's because I want something different. Yes, what are you saying?
I want the Cesar Romano Joker.
You mean like where he had the mustache, he had to paint over his mustache as your face to show
I want that classic campy ass Joker from the 60s.
Kenneth here with the $2 super chat. When will we get more Supergirl DCU news? Probably not until after Superman, because that movie's a way away. Like
it's probably Comic-Con. It's probably San Diego Comic-Con in July when Superman comes out. I would assume.
Yeah, because I think they really want to focus on Superman, and I mean David Zaslav has pretty much said that movie is a lot is riding on that film. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm curious to see when we get the actual trailer what people are going to think of it, because right now it seems like there's a little bit of, we haven't heard them saying anything yet, so we don't know how they sound and blah, blah, blah. Look, all of that's true. I don't think it's going to matter too much, but I think all of that's true. I think a lot of people probably are a little bit nervous about what that movie's going to sound like, what it's going to look like. So we'll see when we get there.
You think they put a Supergirl trailer behind Superman, like as a post-credit scene?
Oh, maybe an introduction to her. Yeah. I don't know if we'll get like a full trailer though. Do you guys think we'll get a full trailer for that?
I don't think it's impossible. Probably not, but like, I wouldn't completely take it out of the question.
Yeah, I don't think it's completely out. But I do think that there's a possibility they're going to wait until after the movie comes out to see how it performs when they start advertising Supergirl. But it would make sense to sort of get it out there already. There's still people mad about the fact we're getting a Sergeant Rock movie, like mad about it, not just confused why we're getting it, but like absolutely upset that we're getting that before we get some of this other stuff. And we've talked about it. It's just financially, I think they have to go in that direction of trying different stuff and doing cheaper stuff.
Do you have that news under your radar of stuff for today?
For the
Shay Rock movie, the Sergeant Rock?
I didn't see anything from that.
There's a potential big casting.
Oh, really? Okay, if you have that.
Rumored casting.
Do you have it handy somewhere?
I can pull it up here really quickly.
Cody with the $5 super chat. This, I guess, is about the Batman suit in the State Farm trailer. The suit was made by the company that did Ben Affleck's suit in BVS. Yeah, I can tell. Like, it looked like a movie quality suit to me. So I'm not too shocked about that. But the funny thing is they made it just for that commercial. Do you think we're going to get more commercials with Batman from State Farm?
That'd be cool.
Because it seems like they spent money on the Bat suit. Maybe not all the same characters, but maybe some Batman stuff on there.
It'd be cool to keep up like an ongoing partnership. Like every couple years, we get Superman one right before the movie or whatever.
That would be genius if they were willing to partner up with Warner Brothers for that. Yeah, because honestly, State Farm commercials get a lot of traction. Yeah. Funny enough. By the way, we hit the goal for you guys. Thank you so much. That was the goal for the night. It's going to help pay for this new microphone that I have to get. I do appreciate you guys. You're amazing. Thank you so much. All right, let's see. We'll look at this, and then we're going to talk about the Jonathan Majors stuff. So, Colin Farrell is in talks to star. What?
I'm shocked that you haven't seen this yet.
And this is from Deadline.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about this. I think he would do a good job, but are we just recycling actors and franchises now? Is that all we're going to do over at DC, is just keep swapping people out from different DC franchises? I mean, well, first of all, do you think the Sergeant Rock movie is one and done? Do you think it's a one and done movie? Like, we're not going to see him in live action again?
I don't even know this character.
Probably.
It's just a military guy.
I mean, like, if it did well, they'd obviously be like, oh, well, let's do another one, right? But probably won't, right? So I could see him appearing, but I don't think it's getting a sequel. You know what I mean? Like, I could see him appearing in other movies or TV shows.
I just don't know how I feel about this. Like, look, I like Colin. I think he's done a lot with Penguin, and I think he's really, like, raised the bar for himself as an actor over the last few years. But I don't know about this. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if this is the right match. I could be completely wrong because when he was cast as Penguin, I was like, there's no way this is going to be awful. And then he ended up killing the role. So I could be totally wrong. I could. But I don't know. What anybody else's thoughts on this? I know, Omega, you said you don't really know the character.
Yeah, I'm not even aware of this character.
Yeah, like I don't have a deep history on the character, but yeah, no, I agree. I would prefer a different actor, like him. Like again, like I get that he puts on such a performance as Penguin, where you could just have like regular like Colin Farrell going around, you wouldn't recognize it. Like that's not what I'm afraid of. But out of all the options we've heard so far, all the rumored stuff, they all sound way more intriguing to me than it's Colin Farrell, but again, as a different character. It's like, yeah, okay.
And then the next movie that comes out with like a one shot, they'll be like Colin Farrell starring as blah 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 blah. Paige, you said you got to head out.
Yeah.
So did you want to give your opinion on this before you go? What do you think about this casting? It's true.
I mean, the casting's random. I mean, we're going to get like a multiverse team-up movie between his Penguin and his Sergeant Rock. That'd be trippy. But then again, I don't know. It'd be weird. I don't know if I see him as Sergeant Rock. It's almost like they've had a lot of people, because isn't there like the third or fourth person or something that's meant to be. So maybe like
White and yeah,
maybe that, because the thing is, maybe someone's worried about maybe leading this DC movie and it could be a potential flop or something like that. But then again, maybe they also don't want to spend a lot of money on the actor.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is I was thinking that maybe the majority of the budget will go to the actor, probably. Whoever.
So like if they went to anyone else, like maybe there's someone else is asking for double what their budget is for that, because they probably want to make this low budget. Or like for the most part, like not too high, like at least under 60 or 70.
Yeah.
So I know it's a bit random, but I mean, yeah, especially if he's going to be in Batman Part 2 as well. He's going to be filming like 2 DC things, like either back to back or side by side.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got to jump out of here. Your internet made it for an hour, so
yeah,
we'll see you.
Bon voyage.
All right.
Bye.
I don't. If you guys didn't know, the reason why he can't stay is because his phone is overheating. He's got to use his phone for his internet, so that's what's going on with that.
That's it. Still down. Jeez.
Yeah, they're still having issues with it.
So I don't think this would be the issue. This is just me like spitballing potential outcomes. Like what if this was a world where like maybe he doesn't want to keep doing the Penguin, right? Like you know, like he's talked about his feelings of like it's very hard to work in, it's very hot, very uncomfortable. Maybe it's like I'm done with the Penguin after Batman Part 2, but I want to stay on the DC brand. Are there any roles for me you could give me that's not this character, maybe in the main timeline? And then they're like, well, we're making this new Sergeant Rock movie, and it's very art house, very similar to the Penguin. Do you want to give that a shot? Do you want to audition for that role? I could maybe see that, right? Yeah. But again, I'd prefer if it was somebody else.
I mean, look, the thing is, I think he could actually do it. Like, I think he's capable of doing it. It's just a matter of the right material and the right tone for the movie, and see where he's going. Silhouette Animator with the Jealous Super Chat. Harley Quinn's getting a season 6 supposedly, so they're still doing that. Cartoon just keeps outlasting everything.
I mean, we always knew it was going to be season 6. They do that show in 2s. We've talked about that many times. Season 1 and 2 was done together. 3 and 4, 5 and 6 would also be together. So we already. So
season 7 will be when we find out whether or not the show is going to continue.
If it if it gets up for a season 7, we'll be like, oh, okay, so it's coming back for even more.
Makes sense. All right, let's get into a little bit of a serious topic. We're not going to stay here for too long, but I do want to bring this up, and this is the Jonathan Majors stuff. All right, we haven't talked about Jonathan Majors in a while, partly because the story's kind of just been up and down. It hasn't really gone anywhere. But he did an article, I think there was an interview with him that came out earlier in the week, last week, where he talked about his comeback to Hollywood. And I didn't cover that because I was like, I don't really want to get into like what's going on with him in terms of like, I'm more of like a show don't tell kind of person. So if you want to come back and start doing movies and prove that you've changed as an individual and you think that you need that opportunity, then we'll see what Hollywood thinks about that. It depends on whether you get hired for jobs. But apparently this is him admitting to strangling his ex-girlfriend. And we're not going to play the clip here because I hear people are getting copyright struck for it for whatever reason. But the clip says, Majors goes, I aggressed you. And then his ex goes, you strangled me and pushed me against the car. Yes, all those things are under aggressed. Yeah. And I've listened to the clip, and it doesn't sound like he's being manipulated or he's been drinking or anything like that. It sounds just like a random conversation that's happening. I want so bad to like Jonathan Majors because I think he's extremely talented, and I really love that he's a fashion forward person. He does a lot of really great characters over the years, in the different franchises he's been in. I cannot support someone who has abused someone else like this. I just can't. I can't do it. If this is true, there's no redemption for me for this, right? But he's not going to go back to court over this. It's done. Like, it's over with, right? So all these charges are gone. He wasn't found guilty of any of this stuff that put him in jail or whatever. So essentially, this is stuff that's coming out now. It's like the court of public opinion, right? That's really what this is. Mm-hmm. What do we think about this? Do we have any opinions about it? I mean, again, I feel like Hollywood is going to determine whether or not he can overcome this. That's really what it's going to be, honestly.
Like, I was like, when all the things were dropped, I was like, okay, yep, that does it. Everything is dropped. You should give him another chance. Now with this, I'm like, oh, god dang it, come on, bro.
It's tough.
It's making it hard for me to defend him. Like, I can't.
Yeah, it's tough. Like situations like this, like, I was very quiet when the whole journey was going down because I didn't want to pick a side either way. Like, if he was innocent, I would have felt terrible if I was like bashing him. If he wasn't, I didn't want to be like supporting him. And I haven't loved a lot of this coverage, to be honest, because I feel like a lot of people have been treating it like a baseball game or like a TV show. It's like,
that's part of why I stayed out of the back and forth on it. I didn't want to talk about it every week because I did feel strongly about it. So
yeah, like these are people's lives that were affected, good or bad. Them being affected is another conversation completely. Yeah, I think like people, like, I know, like, Michael B. Jordan wants him back for Creed 4, and everyone's like, bring him back for Kang, and I think at the very least, he needs time away from Hollywood. Like, we've heard redemption stories in the past. If you believe they should or shouldn't, that's another, again, completely conversation. But I think just step away a couple years, man. Like, step away, just go do your thing. You're free, right? Like, he's not in prison, so go do your thing, escape Hollywood, find a new profession elsewhere. If this is to be true, right? If this is, then yeah, I don't want them in my movies. I don't want someone like that to be rewarded for their actions.
Well, again, this falls into the court of public opinion because what happens is this comes out, and this is Rolling Stone, so this is a massive publisher. This isn't like Hollywood Reporter or Deadline where we get our like fandom news from. This is a magazine that's been around for decades and decades and decades. It's a publication that has been around for a long time. And I know some people question the integrity of Rolling Stone, but the point is, this is out there now.
Yeah.
It's out there. It's an article. It's a social media thing. I don't know if any studio is going to feel comfortable with him headlining anything they're doing. Do I think that he will, be completely blacklisted and not do anything else ever again? No, I think there's still going to be people that will hire him to do stuff. But as far as being the next big, like, Hollywood headlining actor, that's gone. That's over with.
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever going to happen for him.
And it's so discouraging because I know, like, I knew this was discouraging to a lot of people when it happened because, like, they got, in the biggest franchise in the world, arguably the biggest movie in the world, he was going to be headlining as the main focus.
He was going to be in, like, I think they said 10 different things between TV shows and movies. So,
like, black men in Hollywood, like that's something that never, I could be wrong, but has happened to that degree before, and to then replace it with Robert Downey Jr. again, and like, there's a bit of that, and like, I know there's a lot of people that really wanted it to be fake, that really wanted it, and I get it. Like, I think that frustration seems to be really palpable. I get it. So again, it's tough. Like, again, like, if it is true, then take the proper actions as a Hollywood agent, as a whatever. But
yeah, we'll see. It does suck, and I see a lot of people in the chat feel the same way. I think the general consensus was people wanted to really like him,
Yeah.
So
he's a great actor. He had a great career ahead of him.
I mean, to be fair, Quantumania was held up by his acting. He was like the main reason why that movie redeemed itself to some people. Yeah.
Like he was great in that. He was great in
Loki season 2.
He was fantastic in Creed. He would have went on to do Creed 4. He might still go on to do Creed 4. We don't know.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like
Silhouetted animated with the Jolly Super Chat. Double Toasted will probably I don't know who Double Toasted is. Is that
he's like a leaker guy that like posts rumors and stuff on Twitter.
I can't defend someone that admits to assaulting somebody.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Like I will dive in for some stuff, but this is where I stand away. Like I don't condone a lot of like verbal abuse can go back and forth. People can say shit to each other and move and walk away from that. But when you're talking about physically assaulting somebody, that's a different thing. I can't do that. Can't do it. Look, Quentin says agreed. Ant-Man 3 wasn't good. Yeah, the only thing that really worked was the introduction of Kang. And to be honest, I think the problem with look, we're gonna go off on a tangent here. The problem with Ant-Man 3 to me was that it was a movie that felt like it needed to be bigger than it actually was, because you took a heist franchise and you elevated the level of heist to like Kang level.
Yeah.
And then it's just like you have a handful of random characters versus Kang. It needed to be like, I feel like it needs to be like the level of Civil War or Multiverse of Madness or No Way Home. And it just wasn't because the characters weren't that strong.
Okay, here's a fun question.
Yeah.
What other franchise would you have put Kang in as their first appearance instead of Ant-Man?
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say this, if you're not going to do it in Fantastic Four, you need to create a film that allows multiple characters to be together to face off against Kang that makes sense. Like a movie that would have like the Illuminati in it, and then Kang is the character that the Illuminati faces off.
The Marvels?
Yeah, for him to be...
The Marvels would have been a good place for this, yeah.
That could have
100%.
fixed both, because that movie had like a villain problem.
I will die on the hill that Ant-Man 3 should have just been another really good heist movie like the first two films.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Kang getting his ass kicked by Ant-Man. Ant-Man? Really? Kang?
Or just have them lose, right? Like it was originally supposed to. Like have his ass get beat. They're stuck in the quantum realm, leads to Kang Dynasty. Boom.
Can you imagine how much better that movie would have hit if Ant-Man would have actually been killed off in that movie?
Yeah.
I mean, it probably would have made a lot more sense.
Although, thank God, because after this whole situation, he killed Ant-Man. Oh, he's gone.
Look, Lance, none of this surprises me. It's crazy how this got leaked on the eve of his new movie. None of this surprises me. It doesn't. Like, the people in Hollywood, everything is planned. It's all planned out. So, look, and Guardians of the Galaxy with High Evolutionary. Yeah, something like that with Fantastic Four. Yeah.
Yeah,
that would have worked. Silhouette Animator here with the $2 super chat. I ain't defending Majors, by the way. He's a piece of shit. Well, you said what you said. Stand on your business.
There's also, I think, like good examples now of having villains featured in a movie without being the main villain. Like you could have had a like Quantum Realm movie featuring Kang with another, like maybe the villain's MODOK instead, right?
Well,
like they lead into that.
I also stand by the fact that if you're going to call the movie Quantumania, don't make it Ant-Man 3. Just make it a movie with Ant-Man characters and other characters in it too. Like Captain Marvel, maybe a Guardian of the Galaxy character or something like that randomly. Like make it a bigger movie than what it is, because I think the issue is not only was the movie underwhelming in terms of like the variety of characters we had, but you had Ant-Man facing off against Kang and beating him. And I think a lot of people thought that was funny, but Kang is supposed to be set up as the next big bad.
Yeah.
That's the issue, is that it undervalued the character. Can you imagine if Thanos was killed off by Hawkeye in his first appearance? Like, that's essentially what they were doing there.
And like, it's just about like a narrative too, though, because like I see a world where that's a really good idea. Like, have the Ant-Man, like show off why Ant-Man is such a good hero.
Right.
Because they're smart, because he's agile, he can move fast. So it's not necessarily about beating Kang. It's about how does Ant-Man survive Kang? How do they survive in this environment they're not used to?
Or have Kang get away. Have him get away. Yeah. Like he could have escaped, There's a lot of things they could have done. Cameron with the $5 super chat. This Jonathan Majors news is worse because the movie's about to come out. Yeah. So that's the thing, is I think that they are, again, everything is planned in Hollywood. They wanted to make sure that while people are looking up Jonathan Majors' movie, that this article shows up. That's why they did this. They wanted to get into that search algorithm the same way people on YouTube do stuff. The same reason why we talk about the popular things is because that's what people are looking for on YouTube. And so that's what they did. They did it. I believe that honestly they planned all of this.
Yeah, 100%.
So Naruto says here, Kang's first appearance was Loki, though. I would say even though we got variants of Kang, the Kang that we had in Quantumania was very clearly supposed to visually represent Kang. Like that's the way that character was designed. All the other ones were fine, but they didn't scream Kang the Conqueror. The one in Quantumania did, which is why I think a lot of people had an issue with it. You know, most likely. All right, speaking of Marvel news, here's the next big topic, which is the Russo brothers confirm that Tony Stark's death in Endgame is part of Doctor Doom's story in Avengers Doomsday. We can't explain that as it's part of the story, but there's nobody else in the world who can play this character the way he's about to. So this made me wonder when they said that this wasn't going to be a variant of Tony Stark. They're walking that back. This is them beginning to walk that back, right? I mean, I feel like that's what this is.
Even I never really got that argument. Like, oh, it's not going to be a variant of Tony. Of course, it's going to be like even if he has nothing to do with Tony Stark, anyone that has the same face of someone in your universe, they're at least a version of like a doppelganger kind of character, right? Like Ray and Superman in Crisis. While they're not directly, the same character, they're a sense of a doppelganger within that universe. They are paralleled in a way. That first part confuses me, though. Like, I think that's the big part of that statement that I hadn't even heard before now. Are they going to try and make it like the same person, you think? Like,
I don't know. Cody says they're apparently doing the Eobard face stealing thing. But then that begs the question, why? Doom wears a mask. Like, why would he steal Tony Stark's face?
Public perception, maybe. Like,
but is he walking around without his mask on? Oh no! Oh my god, I just got it. I just got this. Oh, please don't tell me they're going to do this. They're going to show him as disfigured before we ever see him. And then he's going to steal the identity of Tony Stark and the mask is going to go away. And we're going to have Dr. Doom walking around without his mask on.
Yeah.
Right? Does that sound like the way it's going to go?
I can see it.
Yeah. The actor always got a shoulder face.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're paying probably hundreds of millions of dollars to get RDJ back. They're not going to waste it behind a mask. Look, Cody goes ding ding ding. Exactly. Yeah, that's
having pissed me off so much. Having an Avengers themed Doomsday movie. By the way, sick. We've been waiting forever. Right. Having him not wear the mask, and let's be honest, probably not the giant green coat, that menacing green coat.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be Iron Man being here, like,
because what's going to happen is this means that they are looking to elicit an emotional reaction from the Avengers upon seeing Doom, and then Doom doesn't know who the fuck they are because he's from the Fantastic Four world, so they're all going to be emotionally connected to this character, and he has literally no feelings about them whatsoever.
Yep.
God dang it.
And he's going to have some kind of Iron Man suit. Like it's not going to be full on Doctor Doom. He's going to have some technology, armor, whatever.
Well, excuse me. Well, Doom does have like a special suit and all. Well, he has tons of stuff like that. So yeah, it kind of fits.
Fair enough.
So Anthony says he read the whole article. It doesn't say the Tony death part is part of the story.
Oh.
Well, let me click on it and see if I can find something here. It says
that makes sense because I that's the first time I'm seeing it too.
Okay, let's see. So let me find the article.
Just all the political.
Oh my god! All right, let's lower this. I don't want to have this.
Let's scroll past that nonsense.
Let me find this buried article about Marvel and all of these political stories. I mean, it is the New York Times, but let me find the article. 10 hours ago. I guess this came out earlier in the day. Pagey would have loved that. He would have said, stop on that article. Scroll back up. What does that say? Yeah. Geez, where is this story at? Holy shit. I am scrolling and scrolling. The New York Times does what I hate from a lot of these sites is they repost the same articles like 5 times a day. All right, hold on.
Neon says, I know we're talking about Dr. Doom, but we don't have to doom scroll too.
Yeah, I know. You're right. I guess it was in the same article where they talk about the electric state stuff. I think it's all the same. All right, let me see this.
Dark Zen says, and all of this just to make Thor, War Machine, Spider-Man, and Hulk mad because there's no one left in the core MCU Avengers. Yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of the whole point, right? Like, you would want, like, Spider-Man, War Machine to have that, like, wait, why do you look like my friend? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I still feel like they're going to do that. I mean, even though they don't explicitly say that here, it does sound like that. The trouble is there's now 29 Marvel TV series and 35 films. The commitment to storytelling has fallen off. This is the article, by the way.
Yes.
The commitment to storytelling has fallen off a cliff and convoluted plots have taken root. What will the Russo brothers do about it? So this is the article part. And this is their quote. Yes, the MCU has gotten quite large, that's for sure. I mean, frankly, we struggle with that same issue, but part of the reason Joe and I decided to go back is exactly what you're talking about. There needs to be more of a central narrative. That was something we're very specific about when we worked with Marvel before. We like to bring that focused narrative back, aka they're going to reboot some of the stuff. Well, if anyone can say Marvel will be these two after all, well, why though? Because they've made a bunch of dud movies like since they left Marvel, so I don't really know if it was lightning in a bottle or not.
It's Feige. Yeah.
Well, if anyone can say Marvel will be these two, after all, they were the ones who made it billions in the first place. I asked Pratt, can these men fix the MCU? Sure, he says. They know that it's the mundane human brokenness of characters that drive stories and make the Avengers great. They have the ability to find humanity. I will say this. I feel like the Russos are very good, and I've said this about several directors over the years, at balancing multiple characters in a narrative. They do a really good job with that. But I think it comes down to what the IP is that they have control of, because it seems like they're really good with the Marvel stuff, because I guess the Marvel stuff was good in itself, but a lot of the stuff they picked up over the years hasn't worked as well, and I'm wondering if that has a lot to do with it. How will they bring back Robert Downey Jr. as the villainous Doctor Doom, given he died a different character? Iron Man, Avengers, Endgame. We can't explain that as part of the story, but there's nobody else in the world who could have played this character the way he's about to. Yet fans surely care less about the lesser Marvel superhero than they did in the big hitters, making the Russos return a bigger challenge in their Avengers debut. Look, every movie is hard. Anthony says we're excited. We've got something to say. So I think that might be all the Marvel stuff in here.
I really wish they would stop saying that. That is such a disrespectful thing to say about the, like, Romanian community.
Mm-hmm.
I hope is, like, the right way to say that, where it's like, you're going a different direction. I still hate that idea. I think it's dumb and disrespectful, but you could be like, oh, this is our new take on this iconic character. I could be like, all right. You're like, no one else in the world could possibly play this better than this white man that we've had.
Who we already had as another character for like over a decade.
It's disrespectful. It just is.
I think there's a couple of things happening here, right? Okay. One is I still stand by the fact that these movies are going to make billions of dollars.
100%.
I think that has a lot to do with bringing back people like Robert Downey Jr., like Chris Evans, like Chris Hemsworth, bringing these characters back. I think that's got a lot to do with it. I think that regardless of whether or not they end up being great films, they're still going to make $1 billion. So if they were just upfront about that, I think it would be fine. But all of this artsy fartsy talk about like nobody else could play this role. I mean, what does that mean? What does that even mean? There's nobody else in the world who could play this character the way he's about to. So in other words, you're making him a variant of Tony Stark, and this is your excuse for it. He's either going to wear Tony Stark's face or he's going to be a variant of Tony Stark. Because there's no way you're going to pay Robert Downey Jr. Hold on, let me look it up. How much? I'm going to find out how much he got paid.
A lot.
How much?
That's that's the stuff I don't understand. Where like people are like, oh, they're not even going to address. He's just playing it. No, they're not. Why would they do that? Like, can you imagine if like Tom Holland was like,
oh my god,
guy I've never seen.
So his Robert Downey Jr.'s base salary for anything starts at $20 million.
Yeah.
And he got paid $75 million for Infinity War and $75 million for Endgame. You know how much that's the cost of a small budget movie.
Yep.
So he's one actor. Okay. I can guarantee bringing back all of these other actors are going to cost them millions and millions and millions of dollars. But he's going to be the most expensive one. Yeah. You're not going to bring him back in your franchise and make him wear a mask through the entire movie.
I think we're looking at like at least a $400 million, if not $500 million budget.
Yeah. Well, if it's anything like Infinity War and Endgame, they'll film them together, and then just like the budget will be like close to $1 billion for both of them. But if one of them breaks that $1 billion, they've already made their money.
I think you can make $1 billion without him. I really do. Yeah. Like I know people are like, oh, they're just nervous. You still got Spider-Man. You still got Thor. You still have Hulk. You still have Hawkeye. You have Shang-Chi. Like, you have a lot of characters people still care about. I don't believe it for a second that like, oh, they couldn't have made $1 billion without Downey.
Yeah.
That's
I also want to point out that the heads-up display stuff that we get in Iron Man was invented so that actors could show their faces while they're wearing masks. That's why you get Tom Holland doing it as well. It is a trick, but it works. People don't mind it. I don't mind that. Like, if you're going to show Iron Man as Iron Man when he's out fighting and stuff, but you see Robert Downey Jr.'s face inside the helmet, like looking at the heads-up display, I don't mind that. It's a trick, but it works. You know, I don't have an issue with that at all. I don't know. Any final thoughts on this at all? We'll read some super chats.
Not really.
Are we still on board with him or not on board with him now at this point?
Who, Downey or the Russos?
Yeah. All of it. Like, how do we feel about all of it? I mean, is it kind of like, because now we have the AI comment from them, and it just feels like there's so much, you know.
I'm getting less and less excited for Avengers 5 every day. Yeah. Like, I feel like especially right now, like I've been thinking about this a lot this week. I think I'd be a lot more excited for like a Defenders movie or like new season than.
Yeah, I saw your post about that. Yeah, like a supernatural movie or something like that with the
like a movie with like Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher. I mean, like
Ghost Rider. Yeah. Cody with $5 super chat said Ant-Man's ending was changed because they were retreading the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp. I see that, but I still feel like if you're gonna have Kang, you take a risk, and it doesn't mean having a giant ant defeat Kang. I just don't think that. I don't think that works, to be honest. Silhouette of Anime with the $5 super chat. The only reason it's RDJ is to bookend this pre-mutant era. Its narratives also anchor beings. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Look, I am really looking forward to what's on the other side of Secret Wars. Like, because we're going to see what they're committed to at that point. Because it is sad. We're probably going to lose a lot of the stuff we love from the MCU. And they'll get their stories wrapped up in Doomsday and Secret Wars. But we also get the mutants. We're going to get Fantastic Four. We're going to get a bunch of stuff that we don't have right now. So that soft reset is going to hit differently, if that makes any sense. Like,
yeah, like that's the only kind of like defending point of him being here is like, okay, we're probably recasting a lot of these characters post here, and this would be the only time you can have your like nostalgia. Oh, the OG 6 Avengers back together again, whatever. But
let's see, what else did I have in here? We got some time. We got a picture of Eddie and what's the actor who plays Lex Luthor? I can't remember his name.
Lex Luthor? Nicholas Hoult?
Yeah, that's it. Picture of them like working out. People are like, look how jacked Lex is.
He looks so good as Lex. Oh, is that a Creature's sweater? Creature Commandos.
Yeah, it is. Do you peep the swag? Is that what it is? Is that how the kids say it? Peeping the drip. I don't even know if peeping is used anymore. What is it? Drip check? Swag check? I don't know anymore. I had some other stuff here. Where did that say? Oh, this is the other bit that we were talking about. That Captain America: Brave New World is on track to end its theatrical run with 405 to 440 globally. The second lowest grossing film in the franchise. But I do want to point out it is now in the top 100 highest grossing domestic movies. Like, I think it's in the top 100 domestic grossing movies of all time in terms of like just raw sales, which is crazy. It's also performing in between the other Captain America movies domestically. So as I suspected, something we talked about quite a lot about this movie, is it's playing better domestically than expected because it's a movie about Captain America, which is why they were going internationally and saying, this isn't just American propaganda. It's literally Captain America's for everybody. They did that because they were trying to play it up for international audiences. And I said it and people were like, no, there's no way that's the reason why. And it's like, yes, that's the reason why. That's the reason why they did it. So Anthony says, I'll be surprised if it hits 440. But that's the top end. That's the top end. I don't think it's going to reach 440, but it will probably get somewhere around 410, 415. I think that's pretty much guaranteed for me. I think that's what we're going to see. And then it will go on to streaming and probably make another 50 to 100 million in streaming. Because I feel like a lot of people are going to pay it to watch it at home. I think that's what we're going to see. So it'll probably end up at the end over 500 million made total on the film if you count in the early access VOD. And Disney's fine with that. They're not excited, like they're not throwing parties about it, but the movie wasn't a bomb for them. It didn't lose money for them. So no, this, it's not considered. So a box office bomb is a movie that doesn't make its budget back. They have to silhouette it. We've gone through this before. I don't think you were here. We talked about this. It is illegal for them to say that a movie is cheaper than what it cost. It's actually illegal. It's considered fraud. It's fraud to the investors. It's fraud to the stock market. It's actually fraud. So they have to say the right number. We don't have to agree with what it is, but they have to say that it's the right number. If they don't, they could be taken to court. And newsflash, Disney has never been taken to court in the entirety of its existence for lying about a production budget.
And they're not going to do that for Captain America of all movies. Like,
this is the real story is it's more likely they would lie about the success of a movie. And let me explain why. If a movie overperforms, they can devalue the budget so that they don't have to pay investors back. So they'll be like, it didn't make its money back. They wouldn't say that a movie that is bombing had a lower budget because that doesn't do anything for them. It doesn't make any difference for them other than makes them liars and sets them up for lawsuits. So I know a lot of people are saying that. I'm going to make a separate video about that because there's a couple of channels that are trying to push that narrative, and I really want to break it down and pull out some raw facts and information about it. But we're talking about SEC violations. We're talking about shareholder violations, stock market manipulation. If they came out publicly and gave the wrong budget, that's a big issue. Also, I'm going to go on a little rant here. If they went back and they shot $200 million worth of reshoots, if they're lying about it, who the fuck is paying the actors? Where's the money coming from? Is it magical money that doesn't exist? Because if they went back and they spent another $200 million on this movie, people have to get paid. Actors, directors, sound people providing food on the set. You think investors are going to sit around and go, I wonder where that movie cost $180 million to make. I wonder where that other $200 million out of my bank account went. I wonder where that went. Oh, I guess it just magically disappeared. Also, if Disney was lying about the production budget on these movies, all of them, every quarter that they do their financial reports, the investors would know that because money would be wrong. And there's analysts that work for them that pay for that they pay them to do that.
Yeah.
So there's just there's no realistic way that a company like Disney could lie about the production budget of a movie where they're getting tax breaks and rebates on. It doesn't happen. I know these guys want you to believe that, but it's just not true. It's not true. You can hate the movie all you want. You can say it's dog shit. You can totally tear it down. But this narrative that the movie bombed because they lied about the production budget is just a narrative. It's not real.
Yeah. Shortcake, IGN also isn't like the greatest source of like responsible news, I feel like. Like, they lie all the time.
I also want to point out, what does misleading mean? What does it mean in this context?
Yeah.
Because unless they've actually been taken to court over lying about the budget, then it's still just hearsay. It's not real. It's just not. Look, I'm not someone that gives a fuck about the corporate side of Disney and the money they make. I've said this many times. Yeah. If they were lying about the budget and I didn't believe it, I'd be like, yeah, they are. But guys, think about this realistically. Let me make the story make sense for you. You've got a friend that is making a short film. And he comes to you and he says, I need $500 to make this short film happen. You give him the $500 to make the short film. And then he goes down the street and says, I made this movie for $200. What, you know what that's about, right? So I get to keep $300 for myself because I conned these people out of a bunch of money. You can't do that. It would be very obvious to the people that gave them money for this movie if they lied about the budget. You didn't upset me. It's just I'm very passionate about this because there's a lot of things that they could lie about. So many things, money and numbers they cannot lie about. It's illegal for them to do it. It is literally illegal.
Yeah,
it's the way they're framing it. Their budget was 180 million. They spent 100 million in reshoot. They didn't though. Where does the reshoot money come from? Where is it come out of thin air? That's the thing. If they spent 100 million in reshoots, who paid for it? And why does it not show up in their financial holdings at the end of the quarters? It's just magic money that I guess nobody knows where it came from and nobody knows who spent it. Is that how that works? I don't understand this narrative. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. If the movie sucks, just say it sucks. They have no reason to lie and risk financial fraud because some bros on the internet don't like their film. They just don't, man. They don't. I'm sorry. Like, just real quick here. I think I had it, where is it at? I think I had it up here. Let's see. I had the notes for this. I'm going to make a video about it, but I looked it up. I just want to reassure you guys, regardless of whether or not you like Disney, it is actually highly illegal for them to publicly lie about the budget of a movie. The only number they may not disclose is the advertising budget. That one they could just not talk about. But they can't have another almost full movie's worth of reshoots with money from investors unless they state that money was spent on the movie. That's literally stock market fraud. It's an SEC violation. It's something that the investors could take them to court over. You guys have to understand this. I'm not misleading you on this. I promise you. You have to look it up. But the rule of law in what way? On the government or private companies? Disney is a publicly traded business. They cannot lie about this stuff because it affects their stock market holdings. Guys, really, I'm telling you, I've researched this. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about here. You can hate them for all kinds of stuff, but they're not lying about the budget of their movies. They're just not. Reshoots are included in whatever the budget is because they already assume they're going to be doing reshoots anyway. So all that money is established beforehand. Yeah. Right, exactly. Neon's got it. They would sue. If I was an investor and I gave them X amount of dollars, and then the next week they go to the Hollywood Reporter and go, we only spent half of that money on this movie. I'd be like, well, hold on.
Hey,
wait a minute. I gave you guys an extra 100 million for these reshoots and you're saying that money doesn't exist? That affects my company. It affects the trading on the stock market. It affects the shareholders. It affects everything. They can't lie about that, guys. I'm telling you right now. They can't. I'm sorry. You can be mad about it all you want, but they're not lying about this. All right, let's find a fun subject. You guys got me on my soapbox.
Let's have fun.
Here's one right here. Mike Coulter wants to return as Luke Cage in the MCU.
Ooh.
I think this is them admitting that he's going to come back. That's what I think this is. I think that this is a little tease that he's going to be showing up again.
Daredevil season 2 rumors are very strong right now.
I need to get the freaking password to my.
Have you still not watched these first episodes?
No, I haven't. There's a lot on Disney Plus I want to watch.
Come to your house, duct tape you down, and force you to watch it.
Promise.
Jesus. Let's see. There was something else here I had. Where's it at? Hold on. Trying to find something extremely fun.
Think he'll get his own show? I hope so. No, I want Iron Fist.
Oh, this was it right here. This is the one. This is what I wanted to talk about. This is what we're going to wrap it up with tonight. We've got a few minutes left here before you go. Snow White first reactions praise remake, a big surprise. I have yet to see a massively negative early reaction to this film. So to me, it sounds like this movie might be a surprise hit for Disney and that a lot of these hate channels and hate commentators might have to eat their words. Again, I am not the target demographic for this. I'm not going to be seeing it like opening night or anything like that. But it sounds to me like the market that they're trying to hit is responding well to this movie. So, Darren.
called called it years ago. I mean, like we heard of those early early test screenings that like it was like really, really positive. People loved it. My only concern is they had to redo a bunch of the movie because of the whole what's his name? The whole dwarf situation that happened.
Peter Dinklage.
After they redid the whole thing, we're like, oh, is that going to affect it? You know, we've heard about bad reshoots and stuff in the past. Like, you know, like that was my only real concern. It's so weird because I feel like people have been focusing on the wrong controversies, right? Like people are so focused on like Rachel Zegler said it was a weird.
You know what this tells me though? This tells me that this particular, like if this ends up being a massive success, what this tells me is the channels that are spending so much time and energy going hard against this are wasting their time. They are simply making money off of viewers who want to be angry with them, and it has literally no impact on this type of movie.
Yeah.
It's a family film.
Yeah.
It's also intended for children primarily. So these adult guys going hard on this, like, why? Why are you doing it? I don't know. I will say this, Gal Gadot's song that I heard, I did listen to the clip, wasn't great. So I will say that was a little rough, but you know, it's what it is.
I guarantee, and I don't want to just like hate on actors. Again, I don't like her as an actress. I think she'll easily be the worst part. I think she will very easily be like the biggest negative. That and the look of the certain characters. I think those are going to be the two big stuff. And I think, again, maybe I'm just biased. I think the shining light will be Rachel. Like, I think most critics will be coming out of that movie being like, Rachel was perfect as this character. She sang like an angel. She carried the movie. Yeah. Which we've known was going to happen for years.
Yeah, Gwendolyn's not a fan of the changing of the story. I understand that. There is a lot of changes to the story, and this goes to what Neon was saying here. It just felt like the story of Snow White was going to be really hard to work into a live-action movie that fits the more modern style. Well, Darren talked about this a little bit. You know a little bit more about this than I do. Apparently, they are changing a lot of the third act of the movie, right? What are some of the big changes that they're changing in that third act that you know
so,
about?
Like, I mean, I don't know because I haven't seen it yet. I've been trying to avoid what I can because I'm actually really excited for this.
Right.
But like,
so you're going to be, this is an opening night movie for you then?
It'd probably be like opening Saturday.
Weekend. Okay,
yeah, for me for sure. But like, you know, we've heard like there's an entire subplot about like her rising a like rebellion against the queen and really, you know, and I think that's so good. Like I've been on my soapbox all year. Out of all the like Disney live action reboots they could make, Snow White's one of the most valid ones to reboot. This movie's almost 100 years old. This is a character that has kind of lost touch of the modern generation. No one these days really knows what Snow White is, and it's a very out-of-date movie. So this, I think, is the perfect one to be like, okay, what's the property? Let's change it up. Let's give it some fresh legs. Let's make Snow White an actual character that little girls and boys even can look up to. A powerful female character in present day. I think that's awesome. I think that's amazing. This is a movie that needs modernized a little bit. Rachel wasn't necessarily wrong. Was like how she did it wrong? Maybe she could have chosen her words a little better. Sure. But she wasn't wrong either. There's some weird stuff in that movie. So, like, again, like if critics are, man, I'll be so happy if it's actually good because that's just like spitting in the face of all just the terrible.
This is true, Bob. The original movie did change from the source material, especially like the kiss that everybody has an issue with. That was originally not even a kiss. It was a weird, like, body dysmorphic, like weird. Like, wasn't it like that she was like actually dead and they were taking her around in a cart and then she fell out of the cart or something? I don't remember the actual, but it was very different from the kiss that we saw. Yeah, it was like this weird out of body thing or whatever.
Yeah, like Grimm fairy tales are like so different than what Disney made them. Yeah. To the point, like we're getting all those like all these like horror movies for like, you know, these Disney characters. I'm like, if you want to do that, like do a movie about like the actual Grimm fairy tale. I think that would be sick. Like do like Little Mermaid, but as this like killer siren who's trying to get on land to kill her prey. Like that's cool stuff. Like do that.
Cody with a $5 super chat. I'll say it again. Boycotters lose again. Well, I don't even know. You're right. I think the boycotting of these movies under the pretense of like it's just going to be a shit movie because of Disney is wrong. And I think there's a lot of that. I do know there's the issue with Gal Gadot because of her connection with the military in her home country. Yeah. But that aside, because I'll be honest, and I still feel this way about it. I hate to say this. I don't think the average consumer goes that deep into the stuff when they're going to these movies, which is why I think Jonathan Majors could probably fly under the radar with stuff if they tried to bring him back and put him in a movie. Most likely a vast majority of the casual audience wouldn't even know.
No.
But
TikTok loves Gal. TikTok like praises the like sand she walks on. It's
Gal Gadot.
Yeah, people like they love Gal over on TikTok and Facebook and stuff.
All right, we got some super chats, and then Lone Wolf did send me something that we can look at before we wrap everything up. But let's go to these super chats. So Silhouette Anime with the $5 super chat. I think Luke Cage should become the mayor of New York and replace Fisk at the end of Born Again and upgrade from his position at the end of Luke Cage season 2. I wouldn't mind that, except I want to see what his world looks like with him as the owner of the club. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah.
Spoilers for the end of season 2 of Luke Cage. It's been out since 2017. But yeah, I'd love to see that. I would really love to see that story continue. Look, I like Luke Cage as a character. It's probably my second favorite Netflix show next to Daredevil. But I want to see that story continue a little bit more before that happens. If they wanted to do it and do like a flashback episode in season 2 where we get to see Luke Cage as, running the bar and being in that position, I'd be okay with that.
I think Iron Fist and Luke Cage Iron Fist and Luke Cage are both harder pitches to bring back than I think Daredevil and Jessica Jones. Unfortunately, like I think it's like I think Daredevil is such a like casual audience kind of character where you can bring them back and everyone's like, okay, I'll see what this is. Luke Cage wasn't as popular as it should have been at the time, so it's going to be a little bit harder.
Yeah, he's a character.
Jaybird said there will be people who won't watch it because of Gal. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I mean, we had Think Noodle here, so I'm not supporting it because of Gal. I get that. There's a lot of people who are going to not support it for that reason. I understand that. I just think that the pool that we believe exists of people that are willing to stand by a boycott, without accountability, none of that matters. I want to state this before we look at this last thing, but the issue with boycotts is, for the vast majority of people, it's personal accountability when it comes to boycotts. Because say, for example, Omega is like, I'm boycotting this single player game because I don't like the ethics of the company. Who's checking Omega on that? Like, who is like if he wanted to go and buy the game and play it, he could. Nobody can do anything about it because it all comes down to his own personal boycott. You know what I mean?
We saw that with the Harry Potter game that come out. A lot of people's like, you can play it if you want, but like morally, I cannot do it. And I'm like, I get that. I really do.
Right. But it comes down to your own personal accountability, right? Yeah. So the thing is that a lot of people don't stand on business when it comes to boycotts. They'll say, I'm going to boycott something, and they just don't. Like, if I'm saying I'm boycotting a movie, right? And then I go buy a ticket and go see the movie and never tell you guys that I did it, how do you know that I didn't see the film? You know what I mean? How do you know that?
Yeah,
how do you know I didn't watch it when it came out on streaming? You don't know. So it really comes down to the individual person. Celebrities are probably the only ones you can hold accountable, really.
Yeah, it's like, when I remember when something with, not necessarily Helldivers, but people in Helldivers were killing other players because they were wearing blue helmets, because the blue helmets that they have look very similar to the UN helmets that the UN soldiers wear. And I'm just like, I just want to wear blue armor. What the...
Right.
What is this all about? If you really want to make some change, why don't you aim an actual gun at actual UN soldiers if you really don't like UN soldiers? All right, now I'm gonna stop right there before I get you demonetized.
Yeah, don't demonetize me. Yeah. All right. So
I just hate fake activism. God.
Well, that's the thing, is that a lot of activism requires people to have some sort of their own personal moral compass, and I think that we find out. When sometimes, like when Darren was saying about the Harry Potter game, a lot of people are like, I'm never going to play that game. And then it goes on to make a bunch of money. And you're like, there's no way all the people that said they were going to boycotted it if it still made a ton of money. That just doesn't make any sense.
So, I don't like this game because pronouns, and then the game makes $1 billion.
Right, like, exactly. Yeah, 100%. You're right. Yeah. It doesn't matter which side of it. It's all the same. Like, I will say this, when it comes to any kind of like personal issue with stuff, certainly you should speak up about it if you're passionate about it, but also you have to take it upon yourself to decide what you want to do. For example, if there's a business that I don't want to support, I can simply say I don't support that business, and then personally decide that I'm not going to support that business.
Yeah.
But no one's holding me accountable. It all comes down to how you feel about it. So,
and also, like, I think with how social media works today, it's hard to create a longevity in the boycott, because like today we could be like, oh, holy shit, there's this huge boycott happening in London. This is crazy. Tomorrow, no one is talking about that because it's old news. No one cares. And you're kind of boycotting for nothing at this
Well,
point.
there was an Amazon boycott for a week, like last week or something.
Yeah.
I don't think most people even knew about it because it was buried on the internet. I know a lot of people didn't. I know a lot of people that did participate in it, but a vast majority of people didn't even know it was happening. And they're like, I'm boycotting Amazon, but I'm also watching Invincible. Oh, okay. Well,
then they go order their bullshit from Amazon the next week.
Right. Or you're ordering it before the boycott. So it's like, I'm going to boycott them next week, so I'm going to order all of my stuff this week. Okay, cool. That's not really doing
it's like fasting,
anything.
but like eating a whole bunch of food.
Let me gorge on everything that I can, and then I'm going. I'm not going to
Tuesday before you fast for Lent.
Yeah, it's a lot of performative stuff in that way. Yeah, I get it. Look, I wish activism could work for everything, but sometimes it just doesn't. You have to pick the battles that work for you as an individual, and then do what you're going to do. Like, I would feel better about somebody that's like, I don't like Amazon as a company, so I'm not going to use them anymore, and that's it. The whole boycott thing sends a temporary message that I don't know if it makes a difference long. Maybe it does. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass here. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, MK2 picks online. Carl Urban, Johnny Shao, Mask Sick. Have y'all seen these pictures
I just saw it. Yeah, I saw those earlier tonight.
Okay. Thank you for the super chat and sending these over. So here we go. First look at Mortal Kombat 2. This comes out on October. I think October is kind of a busy month this year, if I remember correctly. Do we remember what comes out in October? Hold on, let me look and see. October 2025.
Michael Jackson.
Oh, that's right.
Comes out.
All right, let's see.
Probably a bunch of horror movies and stuff.
So the search engine is outdated. It says The Batman Part 2 comes out. Blade. It's very outdated. But it does say Zootopia 2 and Tron Ares. Oh, Wicked Part 2 is this October, isn't it?
That's November.
Okay, so they moved that. So this is really outdated.
This is completely wrong.
Yeah,
okay, I have a list here if you want me to go over.
Yeah, sure.
So Michael is October 3rd. Same day, something called Roofman and Keeper. Tron Ares does come out, and that's October 10th. Something called Animal Friends. Oh, that's a like R-rated road trip movie. Okay. After the Hunt, Never Let Go. October 17th, you have The Black Phone 2 and Good Fortune. Then October 24th, you have Mortal Kombat 2 and Regretting You.
I don't think there's a lot of competition for Mortal Kombat. Might be a good month for them to release, honestly.
Okay, wait. Let me look at the very start of November because this is October 24th, right? So it's the last week of the month.
Right.
So
we need to look ahead and after to see what we got, right? In November. So
right. So the Frankenstein movie is happening in early November, it looks like.
Okay.
Jonas Brothers Christmas movie, I think it was Disney Plus. I don't think
okay.
Predator Badlands, it says November 7th.
Isn't that a streaming movie though? Or is that an actual theatrical release?
Doesn't say here, but it would not shock me if it is. Wicked for Good is November 21st. So you have most of November to make a lot of money. So Mortal Kombat could do well. It's the end of November. You have things like Wicked and Zootopia 2.
Right. So let's take a look at some of these pictures here. So we have everybody's favorite boys character here.
Boy. Huey.
I keep forgetting we have what's his name from Supergirl in this movie.
Jimmy Olsen, yeah.
I forget about that. What do we think about this picture as Johnny Cage?
He's doing that like meme pose, the like Chris Pratt and
I think he could pull it off. He's a bit old to be because Johnny Cage was a bit younger, but they're probably going for a bit.
Is he like is he out of work actor though? I think that's what they're doing.
Probably, yeah. That's probably what they're going for, like out of work actor, just a little past his prime. Not saying Carl Urban's past his prime or anything, but yeah,
for Johnny Cage maybe though. For that character maybe. We also have, is this Scorpion? I'm guessing.
Yeah, it looks like Scorpion.
I forget. I haven't seen the original, the movie, the first version of this in a long time. So
yeah, I have I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
A lot of of course, Cyber Ninja and a lot of the other of our mutual friends hated this movie. I thought it was all right.
I'm gonna go watch it this week. I want to see it again and kind of get a feel for it.
I thought it was okay.
As someone not in the franchise, like I've never played the games, movies, nothing. I'm curious how it does now because I remember it came out during COVID.
That's right. It was like wasn't it one of these hybrid models when it came out? Yeah.
So is there a giant audience for it? I'm very curious, especially being a sequel. Like, it was a movie not a lot of people saw during COVID. Is it going to be like, well, I haven't seen the first one, so I'm not going to go see this one? You know, like, I get that, right? So.
Then we have Shao Kahn. Thoughts, Omega?
It's different. I have to see it in motion because this still looks kind of like cheap CGI. But if it's in motion, it may have a different tone to it. I don't know. It's definitely different. Not sure how I feel about it, honestly.
All right. Well,
Shirkar said it was a huge hit for Max, though. Do we have?
It was. I do
numbers?
remember that. I do
Was
remember
it?
it being a big. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It did well on
HBO Max.
I don't know if that means anything theatrically. We'll have to see if it does. But and let's see. We had. Oh, where is it at here? The actual cast listing from Lone Wolf. Here we go. So Martin Ford as Shao Kahn.
Okay.
Desmond Chiam as King Jared. Anna Thu, I can never pronounce that last name.
Gwen?
Is it Gwen? Is that how it's pronounced? As Sindel. Oh, wow. Sindel can become really corny. I hope that they do a good job of that. And then we have Damon Harriman as Quan Chi. Okay.
They're going to probably put him in the ball cap, but yeah, I can see it with all the makeup.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, all right. Let's see. Think Noodles with Chino Super Chat. AC Shadows drops this week. What are your thoughts? I didn't even know it came out this week.
Ubisoft game. Don't care.
Is it a game?
It's a game. So it's controversial because it shouldn't be, but it is. Because they have two protagonists. One of them is a, correct me if I'm wrong here, Omega, a Japanese ninja. And the other one is a black samurai. And
God forbid.
Right.
Oh, no.
It's controversial.
Oh, no. A black guy as a samurai who's an actual historical figure in actual Japanese history.
Yeah.
And of course, the grognards all like, oh, this is historically accurate.
I actually assume it's probably going to do pretty well.
It's probably going to be fine.
But it's not really
for
my...
For Ubisoft's sake, this game better be good. Because Ubisoft, the company as a whole, is in shambles.
Yeah. There's a lot of trouble with them. And look, some of their problems they brought on themselves. So we'll just leave it at that. But Serenity says, the Western pronunciation is win. It's easier than me giving you a Vietnamese lesson.
Vietnamese lesson. Yeah, because I know it's like the whole thing. So somebody actually tried to tell me how
I
to
will.
pronounce it.
I appreciate your you letting me know because I always butcher that name.
Yeah, I'm the same.
So Neon says there is some debate if he actually had the title of samurai because wasn't he considered a retainer? Wasn't that the actual?
Yeah, it's
title?
like it's kind of nebulous even amongst Japanese historians. It's kind of nebulous whether he was like a full blown samurai or like just Nobunaga's
a retainer, which is technically
it's
kind of
like
samurai.
It's kind of like if he had that position, you may as well be a samurai because that's why it's kind of nebulous.
Yeah,
and it's like he wasn't that big of a figure in Japanese history either.
This is the real shit. Like it'll probably be very buggy and broken upon release. I agree with that most likely.
Ubisoft game. I don't care.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting something, but I don't think I am. Let me make sure we got all of our super chats here because you guys were very generous tonight, and I do appreciate it. It's going to help me out. Hopefully, I'll have a new microphone by Thursday. I think we got everything. I think we got all of them. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Tomorrow is Party Nation. You will see Darren there with Lance. Omega will be over on DeviantArt doing something at some point.
Yeah, actually, I posted I just posted some more. It's a character that was I'm playing in another Curse of Strahd game on every other Saturday.
Yeah. I did see this. I didn't even know the game existed, so that tells you.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that game was.
Yeah,
another live service piece of crap game is gone. Yay, good.
I did actually see this that it was confirmed about the casting for Lanterns. I'm still nervous about that show, but I will hold off on all my criticism of it till I see it. 3Dub 2. Yes, good to see you, 3Dub. 3Dub, if you want to join Thursday, let me know if you're free. And you can jump in on Thursday night. I'll leave a space for you on Thursday if you want to come on and chit chat with us. We'll be talking about.
Thursday.
Thursday. We'll be talking about Daredevil and Invincible. What am I talking about here? So, because I do feel like are we going to get some news about Invincible this week?
Invincible's over.
No, but didn't they say there was going to be some news this week?
Oh, did they?
I think probably starting next season.
Or is it some fake scooper? It's probably a fake scooper.
I didn't see nothing. I don't know.
Someone said they were going to drop like a teaser for the next season or something this week, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Anyway, we'll see. Either way, we'll be talking about Daredevil for sure, 100%. See everybody then. So let me blow this up to make it less awkward as solo layout. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Again, we'll see you on Thursday. Let me put the end screen up. And everybody have a great night. Thank you so much for being here. And we are heading out. Take care.